Chapter 12:36. If his parents were rich, he would have enough money to do a good business. There was no need to look at other people's faces. When he saw people driving luxury cars, he would feel indignant and say that they would reincarnate. When he saw beautiful girls wearing branded clothes, he would say that they had a sugar daddy and call them godfather. Shameless. But his eyes would stare at them. He was sensitive and arrogant. Arrogance was to cover up his inferiority. He had achieved nothing and still thought that he was unrecognized. It was this kind of loser who complained, blamed society, and blamed his parents that got a system. This system was called the beauty-pushing system. From the name, one could tell that it was a system for picking up girls. Picking up girls could lead one to the peak of life. The system would give a score based on the girls the host met. It would give a score based on the girl's facial features, body proportions, and family background. The total score was 100 points. For example, if a girl had a pair of long legs, was very beautiful, and had a good family background, she might score 98 points. Those who scored 90 points and above were all top-grade beauties. If it was a fat girl, she might only score 30 or 40 points. She would fail completely and not be worth picking up. Girls below the passing score were not the system's targets. There were various rewards for missions. For example, a girl with 70 points could say that she liked him, or he could touch the thigh of a beauty with 80 points, or he could let a beauty with 90 points kiss him. Completing missions could give him a reward. It might be to improve his face and make him more handsome, or it might be cash. He could also choose to make himself bigger. His ability would be off the charts and he would be able to conquer girls. Of course, the ultimate goal was to push, push, push. As long as it was a beauty, there was no one who could not be flirted with. As long as it was a beauty, even if she was taken, she would be poached. A beautiful wife, her husband must be a cruel and heartless scumbag who ate, drank, whored, and gambled. He had to save the lonely and pitiful wife. Even if it was an engaged daughter, her fiancé must be a rich second generation who squandered money like water and had no ability. A stupid and ugly second generation. How could she be happy if she married such a person? This was to save the daughter's happiness. A beauty who lacked money, safe. A beauty who lacked love, safe. A beautiful teacher, a pure school beauty, a cute lowly, an enchanting dancer, a gentle nurse, a hot policewoman, a domineering female CO, a foreign beauty. Wherever there were beauties, there would be beauties. The more beauties he could get, the more points he would get, the more money he would get, the more handsome he would be, the better his figure would be, and the more powerful he would be. With the contributions of these beauties, his wealth was like a rolling snowball. The more money he had, the more girls he could flirt with. Every time he slept with a beautiful woman, the system would modify his body so that he could cultivate. He opened one dungeon after another. Not only did he flirt in his own country, but he also flirted overseas. When his cultivation reached a certain level, he would break through the plane and continue flirting in other worlds. Ning Shu, even the universe can't contain you. To him, these beauties were just like playing a game. They were just small monsters in the game. He had to defeat these monsters. Using all sorts of methods to defeat the monsters, using money, using warmth, using violence, or saving the damsel in distress. Depending on the beauty, using different methods, using these methods to win the heart of a woman. He was simply a peerless scumbag. His ultimate goal was to push her down. But how could a man who wanted to win the hearts and bodies of all the beauties only love one woman? With the system, he had a sense of superiority. Besides, it was impossible to love so many people. Not to mention that all of them were true love, he loved all of them. Even he himself didn't believe this. How many pieces could a person's heart be divided into? So a man's thoughts were actually quite simple and violent. Beauties, so many beauties for me, and I don't even need to take responsibility. What a man wanted was only power, strength, beauty, and ability. With this system, as long as he slept with beauties, he didn't have to work like a dog, and he didn't have to bow to his boss. He only had to listen to the melodious sound of the violin with the beauties in a Western restaurant, and help the beauties cut the steak into neat little cubes. Occasionally, he would use the body that the system had made into a body of muscles to fight off hooligans and save the damsel in distress. He could easily walk to the peak of life. And when he heard the system's name, pushing the beauty system, he would be filled with adrenaline. His daily life was either pushing beauties or on the way to pushing beauties. The original owner, Duo, was the first woman who had just been pushed to the system. He didn't know any great beauties and couldn't come into contact with them. Even if he met them, he couldn't go up and touch their thighs and kiss them. Otherwise, he would be slapped and might even be sent to the police station. Perverts molesting passers-by. So he set his gaze on Duo, who was opposite him. Although Duo's appearance and figure barely passed the passing mark, she was still in the early stages of her career and didn't have any business, so she didn't mind. After all, she had just been pushed to the system and urgently wanted to know if the system was real. Was it true that he would be able to earn money and undergo a second puberty if he managed to get a girl? So, she started flirting with her childhood sweetheart and pushed it to the system. In fact, Duo's parents had always let Duo interact with the people opposite her. Those who graduated from university didn't work, were lazy, and were extremely sloppy. They could play together when they were young, but not when they grew up. After all, it was easy for a daughter to be taken advantage of. Duo also listened to her parents and distanced herself. After all, when she saw that they were dirty and slovenly, and their bodies either smelled of cigarettes or instant noodles, she had to distance herself even if she didn't want to. After that, Duo started to change her mind after some contact. Then she was pushed to the system. Usually, women in stud novels had a very touching EQ. It felt that women under the stud horse halo were like idiots who had been blinded. They could generously share their boyfriends and husbands with other women. After obtaining his first bucket of gold from Duo, it seemed that Duo had a deep affection for him. Later, when she got pregnant, Duo dropped out of school on her own, angering her parents to death. Then she had a miscarriage. The miscarriage had something to do with it. He only apologized, and Duo forgave him again. He went out to flirt with other beauties. Even if Duo knew about it, she felt inferior when she saw that the beauties were so beautiful. She felt that her brother was so outstanding that there must be many women who liked him. She was satisfied that she could stay by her brother's side. Duo didn't know what was wrong with her. She was clearly sad and desperate, but when she saw him, she would always forgive him easily. When he teased her, all her anger would disappear. In short, this was an extreme world, a man's lifelong pursuit. Chapter 1237. Duo had been waiting and waiting, but Luo Jiang did not marry her. Luo Jiang directly said that he would not get married. He said to Duo, "If you want to get married, you can find a man to marry." Duo was dumbfounded. She seemed to love Luo Jiang very much, so she could only wait like this. Duo felt as if she had changed into someone else. Fortunately, she had worked hard day and night in the sea of questions and finally managed to get into a university. In the end, she got pregnant and dropped out of school. After dropping out of school, she stayed around Luo Jiang every day, washing his clothes and cleaning his room. She did not go out to work for a day. Occasionally, she would feel that there was something wrong with her life. However, when she saw Luo Jiang, Duo felt that she really loved Luo Jiang. Even if she broke her parents' hearts, Duo felt that her choice was right and she was loyal. However, there were more and more women by Luo Jiang's side. They were like flowers in brocade, and there were too many to count. The title of 10,000 People Kill was quite suitable for Luo Jiang. Duo's wish was to not be bewitched by Luo Jiang. She wanted to finish university, work, be filial to her parents, and take revenge on Luo Jiang. Duo did not understand where Luo Jiang got the money to enter a high-end place and live a life of luxury cars and beautiful women. Duo did not feel that she could resist Luo Jiang. Facing Luo Jiang, she did not understand why she was so humble when facing Luo Jiang. She was clearly angry, clearly in pain, clearly angry, clearly wanting to question Luo Jiang, but the words turned in her mouth twice and could not come out. Ning Shu rubbed his forehead, let out a long breath, and began to sit cross-legged on the bed to cultivate. His body was a little weak and was not conducive to movement. As he cultivated, Ning Shu heard the doorbell ring. He got off the bed and looked through the peephole. Oh, it was Luo Jiang. Ning Shu opened the door, stuck his head out and asked, "What's the matter?" Luo Jiang's gaze swept over Ning Shu's face and said with a smile, "Didn't I hear from Auntie that you had a cold? How is it? Are you feeling better?" Luo Jiang was sizing up Ning Shu, and Ning Shu was also sizing up Ning Shu. Probably to pick up girls, Luo Jiang did not wear a shirtless vest. Instead, he wore a t-shirt, jeans, and a pair of sneakers. Looking at him like this, he was different from his usual dispirited appearance. Ning Shu said, "Much better, thank you," Ning Shu said as he was about to close the door. Luo Jiang blocked the door and pretended to be sad. Duo doesn't like brother Luo Jiang anymore? Ning Shu's cold face. Did she look like someone who was overflowing with maternal love? However, Ning Shu had a faint feeling in his heart that he could not refuse Luo Jiang. This was his childhood friend. This should be the effect of the halo. However, Ning Shu had exchanged for the halo of faith, which could resist curses and halos. Moreover, Ning Shu's spiritual power was not weak. If it was an ordinary person, they would probably have invited him into the house. Luo Jiang pushed open the door and walked into the living room. He saw the books on the coffee table and casually picked one up. "Are you reading calculus?" Ning Shu nodded and said, "You've already graduated from university. Advanced calculus and whatnot are too difficult. Can you explain it to me?" Luo Jiang's body stiffened. He had already returned the things from university to his teachers. He had been playing games at home for almost 2 years. What the hell was calculus? Luo Jiang placed the book on the coffee table and suddenly felt very awkward. He had not gotten off to a good start. Why was it so hard to pick up a girl? Ning Shu poured a glass of water and drank while looking at Luo Jiang. She suddenly understood why the system would choose such a person. It was because people like Luo Jiang hoped that the world would fall into their lap. Those who succeeded were all people with great perseverance. They really thought that the world would fall into their lap. Whatever the system said, Luo Jiang would do. In the end, it was because of the thought of reaping without sowing. They wanted to succeed without putting in the effort and live a superior life. This kind of person was easier for the system to control. The system was the master, and he was just a slave controlled by the system. The room was too quiet, making Luo Jiang feel very awkward. In addition, after graduating from university, Luo Jiang stayed at home and rarely went out. Now, he even had a language barrier. He was not someone who could speak well. The current Luo Jiang's method of picking up girls was still very rusty and immature. It was not like the state where he would be able to pass through thousands of flowers and not be touched by a single leaf. Luo Jiang tried to find a topic. "I heard that a theme aquarium was recently opened. Do you want to go take a look?" Ning Shu said lightly, "I have a cold. I don't want to go out." Luo Jiang was silent again. This guy did not follow the rules. He could not even handle a girl with an appearance of 60 points, let alone those beautiful girls. Luo Jiang smiled awkwardly and could not help but scratch his head. "I forgot that you have a cold. When you are better, I will take you there. You should rest." Ning Shu nodded. "Take care." Luo Jiang was even more embarrassed. He was so embarrassed that his back was covered in sweat. His face was very tender as he slowly walked out of the door. Ning Shu closed the door with a bang. Luo Jiang stood at the door, his face alternating between green and white. He clenched his fist tightly. She was so arrogant now. When he conquered this girl, let's see if she could still be arrogant in front of him. Don't think that he did not know that Hu Duo's parents looked down on him. Now, even Hu Duo looked down on him. When he was young, he was also an outstanding student. Now that he had the system, he would definitely blind these people's dog eyes. Snobs look down on people. Luo Jiang took a deep breath, turned around, and returned home. Ning Shu changed his clothes, took a pink leather bag, and prepared to go out. All wild systems were the same. They were all parasites of the plane, absorbing the luck and laws of the plane. If the host could not collect luck for the system, the host would be abandoned. Then what Ning Shu had to do was to make the system give up on Luo Jiang. Without the system, he was nothing. Relying on the money given by the system to beat the rich second generation and the elites of society. Without the system, there would be no income. Then where did the system get the money to push the beauty come from? If it was created by the system, a large amount of money would flow out of the system. Wouldn't it cause inflation? If it was not created by the system, then the system must have hacked the bank. Could it be that no one saw that Luo Jiang was not normal? He did not have a property, but he had an inexhaustible amount of money? Ning Shu closed the door and went to the market to buy a small clay jar. Then, he went to the pharmacy to buy herbs and silver needles. He put some herbs and some food that attracted insects and poisonous creatures in the jar. Ning Shu placed the jar inconspicuously in the park and covered it with leaves. Ning Shu did not know if there were insects that could make goo in the city. Also, he did not know if goo could be made in this world. After all, every world had its own laws. In the previous world, goo could be made, allowing strange creatures like goo to exist. Chapter 12:38. This world was a modern society, so he didn't know if it was possible to make goo. Just like in modern times, there were no immortal cultivators who could fly in the sky and split mountains. This kind of power was not allowed to surpass the world's power system. Ning Shu could only try. If it didn't work, there were other ways. Ning Shu returned to the neighborhood and met Luo Jiang, who was carrying a bag of fruit. When Luo Jiang saw Ning Shu, his expression changed instantly. He became a little angry, as if he had been insulted. Luo Jiang was a very sensitive person. He always felt that people looked down on him and trampled on his dignity. Previously, he asked Hu Duo if she wanted to go to the theme aquarium. She said she didn't want to go, so he bumped into her. Ning Shu saw Luo Jiang's expression. Now, Luo Jiang looked as if he had caught his wife cheating on him. Now, it had nothing to do with him. Luo Jiang took a deep breath and walked to the front of Ning Shu with an expression of enduring humiliation. "Didn't you catch a cold? Why are you still going out?" Luo Jiang asked. Ning Shu asked back, "Can't I go out?" Luo Jiang's chest rose and fell, and then he said, "I'm just concerned about you. Here, I bought some fruit for you." "I can't take your fruit for free. How much is it?" "I'll give you the money." Ning Shu opened his wallet and was about to take out money. Luo Jiang's expression suddenly became ugly. "Do I look like someone who lacks a dozen yuan for fruit money? How do I know if you're someone who lacks a dozen yuan for fruit money? Why did you give me fruit? My mother said that I can't take other people's things casually. Those who eat are soft-mouthed," Ning Shu said directly. For this kind of person who cared about face, dignity, and self-esteem, you had to tear his face and trample on his dignity. Luo Jiang was so angry that he directly threw the fruit bag on the ground, turned around, and walked away angrily. The apples and oranges rolled all over the ground. Ning Shu was speechless. He had no ability, but his temper was not small. Ning Shu picked up the fruit that rolled on the ground. The apple was already broken. It was immoral to throw trash everywhere. Ning Shu casually gave the bag to a beggar on the side of the road. The two houses were facing each other. Ning Shu went upstairs and saw Luo Jiang leaning against the door of his house, waiting for her. Ning Shu ignored him and opened the door with the key. Luo Jiang touched his nose and moved closer to Ning Shu. He apologized to Ning Shu. "I'm sorry for what happened just now. I shouldn't have gotten angry with you. We grew up together. You being so distant with me makes me a little sad. How can I take your things for free?" Ning Shu said coldly. "I heard from my mother that you haven't been working since you graduated from university. Didn't you graduate from the engineering department? Why don't you find a job? If you don't work, you'll only eat your fill. I heard that you play games every day. Uncle and auntie spent money to send you to university. You've already graduated, but you're still at home. All you do is play games and watch beautiful women stream. Don't you feel ashamed?" Ning Shu lectured Luo Jiang with an arrogant look. Luo Jiang's face turned green, but he didn't know what to say. He wanted to refute, but what she said was the truth. Being lectured by a girl like this, Luo Jiang's self-esteem couldn't take it. His face was as ugly as constipation. Now that he had the system, did she really think that he was the Luo Jiang of the past? The Luo Jiang of the past had talent but not opportunity. Now that he had the system, he was a dragon. Luo Jiang swore in his heart that he would make this damn girl hug his leg and cry in the future. Luo Jiang did some mental preparation before saying, "You only see that I don't go to work. Actually, I'm also working. This is the era of the internet economy. Work isn't called working from 9 to 5. Ning Shu, you're bragging." Ning Shu didn't give him any face at all. 2 words were clearly written on his face: liar. If he was really working, how could he not have any money on him? In the storyline, Luo Jiang stole everything to get Huduo. He took Huduo everywhere to create all kinds of romance for Huduo. He ate high-end food and bought some exquisite jewelry for Huduo. These things all cost money. Under the halo and the fact that her childhood sweetheart was so good to her, Huduo fell. She was taken advantage of. She was coaxed into confessing that she liked him. She got a good impression of him and then had sex. Because of this, Luo Jiang got a sum of money. 100,000 yuan. He got 100,000 yuan in one go. Anyway, Huduo's brain was filled with paste. The things she did didn't go through her brain at all. Ning Shu's scornful expression stung Luo Jiang's eyes. She worshipped the strong and stepped on the weak. This hypocritical woman looked down on him and his family. Luo Jiang clenched his fists. A wave of hostility came out from his heart. Fuck, he really wanted to rape this woman. Look at how cocky she was. Even after being raped, she could still be so cocky. Women nowadays were really realistic. Huduo wasn't like this when she was young. Ning Shu looked at Luo Jiang's twisted face. He was always sensitive to others looking down on him. He didn't even look at what was worthy of others looking down on him. He even arrogantly asked others to respect him. If others didn't respect him, this person would be bad in all kinds of ways. Ning Shu turned the key and opened the door. Luo Jiang thickened his face and wanted to go in. "What are you doing? Are you going to teach me calculus?" Ning Shu asked. Luo Jiang's body froze. Ning Shu closed the door. Calculus? He probably forgot all the things he learned in university. He probably forgot most of his food knowledge. Luo Jiang was once again rejected outside the door. He was speechless. He turned around and went back to his house. He slammed the door so hard that the wall shook twice. That Huduo is really stubborn. Why didn't I know that this wretched girl had such a stubborn personality? Luo Jiang complained to the system. Everything was difficult at the beginning. Luo Jiang felt that if he couldn't even handle a pretty girl from a humble family, how could he talk about rich young ladies and all kinds of women in the future? Can I spend money to sleep with a pretty girl? Luo Jiang pushed the system and asked. The system's voice was cold and arrogant. No. At the very least, you have to make the pretty girl have a good impression of you. When the conditions are right, success will follow naturally. Only then will you be charming. The reward for being intimate with a pretty girl for the first time is the highest. After that, the reward will gradually decrease. Then you have to find a new target. Luo Jiang nodded. He would get tired of being intimate with a girl. Why does Huduo have such an attitude towards me? Luo Jiang was puzzled. In the past, they always held hands when they went to and from school. I can only say that you have no charm in her heart. You are far away and near you are smelly. Choose a new target. Don't waste time on her. The system said coldly. Changing targets. The problem was that there was no one for him to choose now. It was a former female classmate. After graduating from university, they went their separate ways. It was very difficult to meet them. Moreover, they might even be a little fatty who failed the exam. Luo Jiang thought about it again and again. Huduo from the opposite school was the best candidate. Chapter 1239. Huduo's appearance passed the mark, and she lived across from him, so he could save on the bus fare. He could meet her at any time. Moreover, Huduo humiliated him like that before. He would definitely take her down, and when he got her, he would abandon her and make her suffer. If she wasn't so mean, he might not have abandoned her. Luo Jiang said firmly to the system, I want to conquer Huduo. There's no monster that I can't destroy. Then you better hurry up. The first mission has a time limit. You have to push her down within 2 months. After 2 months, the mission will fail. The system was cold and heartless. Since you want to pick up girls, then clean yourself up. When a woman looks at a man, she wants looks, figure, and money. You don't fit any of them. Luo Jiang couldn't help but grumble. He wasn't that bad. Then what about a man looking at a woman? Luo Jiang asked. Beautiful, very beautiful, very beautiful. A woman only needs to be beautiful. The system said. Men would tolerate beautiful women. When a beautiful woman was angry and worked hard, the man would only say helplessly, "You annoying little demon." If she wasn't so beautiful and worked hard when angry, the man would say, "Ugly, eat dynamite." It's still more comfortable to be a woman. Luo Jiang sighed. I only need to be responsible for being beautiful. As a man, I still have to work hard for them. I can turn you into a woman. Are you willing? The system said coldly. No, please don't. I'm just saying. Luo Jiang quickly said, afraid that the system would really turn him into a woman. Luo Jiang was full of energy. Calculus, right? Luo Jiang rummaged through the cupboard to find his university notebook and give it to Hu Duo. From now on, no matter how Hu Duo mocked him, he wouldn't be angry. It was all for the reward. Luo Jiang rummaged through the notebook. However, he had already graduated for more than 2 years. How could he still have a notebook? He didn't know if it was sold as waste paper. Seriously, he had to use calculus to pick up girls. Luo Jiang rummaged through the house and finally found the notebook. However, it was piled in the cupboard. There was a damp smell, and the paper was yellowed. There were even worms. Luo Jiang shook the book and placed it on the balcony to dry in the sun. He also took a creative approach and picked the flowers planted on the balcony. He tied 2 or 3 flowers together and placed them on the yellowed notebook. It gave off a refreshing feeling. The next morning, after Hu Duo's parents went to work, Luo Jiang cleaned himself up, shaved his beard, brushed his teeth, and rinsed his mouth. After tidying up, she took her laptop and went out. She put the laptop behind her and was about to knock on the door when the door suddenly opened. Ning Shu saw Luo Jiang at the door. She was planning to go to the park to see if there were any insects that could be used as voodoo that got into the jar. When he opened the door, he saw Luo Jiang. What? Ning Shu asked. She still had to go to school tomorrow. She had to get the goo back today. Luo Jiang almost couldn't control himself from rolling his eyes. This woman was really not cute at all. Fortunately, Luo Jiang had already seen her sarcasm, so he held back and took out a notebook from behind him. This is my notebook. Inside are my notes. It might be useful for you to learn calculus. Ning Shu looked at the yellowed notebook. There were 3 flowers of different colors on it. It was obvious that she had put in a lot of effort. If it was just a yellowed notebook with bug eyes, it would really make people feel that it was too shabby. Effort was effort, but there was a lot of malice hidden behind it. Why not tease? Straight to the point. Moreover, one side was still very clear-headed. She was thinking about what kind of equipment could be dropped after killing this monster. Gold coins or second growth medicine. Here, take it. Luo Jiang stared at Ning Shu and said. Ning Shu tilted her head and looked at the notebook. Your notebook. I remember that you failed several courses in university. Is your notebook still usable? Your notebook will probably lead me into a ditch. Ning Shu said without any trace of politeness. Luo Jiang's face immediately turned ugly. He was so lucky to have taken out his notebook and put in so much effort to draw flowers. However, he was fucking rejected. Should he throw a pile of money in front of him? In order to avoid further embarrassment, and also for his own self-esteem, Luo Jiang directly tore up his own notebook, tearing it into pieces of waste paper in the aisle. He stepped on the flowers again and again. Since you don't want it, then this notebook has no value. What's the use of keeping something that has no value? Ning Shu looked coldly at Luo Jiang, who had flown into a rage out of humiliation. The current Luo Jiang was like a dog biting its own tail. Sensitive, irritable, childish, and incompetent. He had nothing, yet he still insisted. He felt that he was the boss and he was the second. Ning Shu locked the door and walked in front of Luo Jiang. He turned his head and looked at the paper on the ground. Clean up the passage. It's so dirty. Luo Jiang's face was like a palette, colorful. Ning Shu did not say anything. He turned around and walked away, leaving behind the angry Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang grabbed the paper on the ground and tore it into pieces. Ning Shu just smiled. Don't even think about earning a single cent from her, let alone kissing her, touching her thigh, and then doing that. Ning Shu went to a hidden place in the park and opened the jar. Inside the jar, there was a centipede, a toad, a small snake, and a lot of spiders. Oh my, this park was quite dangerous. These things were motionless inside the jar. They probably ate the earthworms that Ning Shu mixed with the powder. Now, there was no movement. Ning Shu picked up the jar and covered it with a lid. He put it in his bag and then planned to go home. When he walked to the door, he saw that the paper on the ground had not been cleaned up. Ning Shu was too lazy to care about it. He directly opened the door and then closed the door. Luo Jiang, who was looking at Ning Shu through the peephole, held his breath. He had never seen such a hateful woman. She was not cute at all. Luo Jiang's heart was filled with anger. He felt that this wretched girl was like a curled-up hedgehog. He did not know what to do. Rough? Gentle? Neither friendly nor distant? Loosening the reins only to grasp them better? Damn it, he did such a romantic thing, but the other party laughed at him for failing the exam. It was a completely different style. Luo Jiang scratched his head. Ning Shu returned to his room and locked the door. He took out the jar and poured some into it. It was about to go crazy. The things in the jar gradually moved. They felt that the other creatures in the jar were immediately on alert and formed a triangle. They stared at each other like tigers watching their prey. The atmosphere was tense, and a fight to the death could break out at any time. Ning Shu released the few strands of spirit qi that he had cultivated for the past few days into the jar. The little things in the jar became restless. Ning Shu closed the lid and then placed the jar under the bed. However, there was still some movement in the jar. Chapter 1240. Ning Shu put the jar in the wardrobe. That way it would be quieter. If Mother, who was cleaning up, she would sweep the jar out from under the bed. If she opened it, there would be snakes, toads, and all kinds of insect corpses. She would probably think that her daughter was crazy. During dinner, Mother, who complained, I don't know who left so many shredded papers in the hallway. It must be a child. Ning Shu drank a mouthful of soup. Child? Luo Jiang, who was already 27 or 28 years old, was not a child. However, to some extent he was a giant. He did not have the ability to survive. He drank his parents' blood. He did not have any source of income, and his self-esteem was off the charts. Ning Shu said obediently, It was Luo Jiang who gave me a calculus notebook. I didn't want it, so he got angry and tore it up. Father, who immediately said, Don't associate with this kind of person. To put it nicely, he is young and impetuous. To put it bluntly, he is childish and immature. He is a little tramp. He might do something to you. Old Luo's salary is not enough for you to stay at home after graduating from university. Father, who looked at Ning Shu. You are a girl. Don't associate with that kind of person. Although men and women are equal and society is open, what is open is thinking. Thinking is not open in every aspect. If there is an accident, you are the one who will be hurt. Girls need to learn to protect themselves. Keeping one's body clean had nothing to do with being conservative. It was not about suppressing men in that aspect. Even if something happened, one had to treat it calmly. Biological structure determined that the one who would be hurt was the girl. Ning Shu nodded obediently. In the novel, Hu Duo was pregnant. In the end, she fell down the stairs in the hallway and had a miscarriage. Oh my God, that was blood flowing out of her body. The one who was in pain was Hu Duo. Luo Jiang just apologized by the bed. Ning Shu served a bowl of rice for Father Hu and Mother Hu. Ning Shu took 2 days off because of the cold. The next day, he went to school early in the morning. Hu Duo's university was not far away. It was difficult to get into this university. In order to go home every day, Hu Duo stayed up late to study. It was not easy for her to get into this university. However, he only studied for 2 years before quitting school. She got pregnant out of wedlock and even had a miscarriage. Her boyfriend was a playboy. He would rather die than get married. Life was a tragedy in capital letters. Although Hu Duo knew it herself sometimes, she didn't know why, but when she saw Luo Jiang, she became retarded. She had no complaints or regrets. Ning Shu wondered if all the women who had sex with Luo Jiang were dead set on Luo Jiang. Ning Shu wiped his face and was speechless. If one's spiritual power was too weak, they would be easily affected and fall under the halo. Ning Shu went downstairs to the bike shed to get the bicycle. In the end, he saw Luo Jiang driving the bicycle. He was wearing a white shirt and looked like a clean boy from afar. Ning Shu, you're really haunting me. Ning Shu walked into the car shed, took out the car keys and started the car. Luo Jiang, Ning Shu said, Hu Duo, I'll send you to school. Ning Shu straightforwardly refused. I don't want to. I can ride my own bike. I don't need you to send me. If you have so much free time to send me to school, you might as well write a resume and send it out to find a job. Your family relies on your father to support the family. Your mother is weak and doesn't know how to share the burden of the family. Ning Shu said without any trace of politeness. In any case, he would poke where it hurts. Luo Jiang had a strong self-esteem. He couldn't stand other people's scolding and lecturing. When Luo Jiang heard Ning Shu's words, his face immediately turned ugly. However, he endured it. Ning Shu pushed the bicycle and was about to leave. Luo Jiang reached out his hand and pulled Ning Shu's bicycle back seat. What? Ning Shu looked at Luo Jiang with an expressionless face. Luo Jiang said helplessly, Duo brat, why are you rejecting me so much now? Am I? Ning Shu said while pushing the bicycle with all his strength. Luo Jiang tightly held onto the back seat. Ning Shu suddenly pushed the bicycle back heavily. Then, the bicycle's back seat and wheels hit Luo Jiang's thigh and lower abdomen. Luo Jiang couldn't react in time and was hit in a critical area. He immediately cried out in pain. He clamped his legs and covered his lower part. What's wrong with you? Ning Shu asked helplessly. He threw the bicycle, and the bicycle once again smashed towards Luo Jiang. The bicycle fell on Luo Jiang's back. Luo Jiang cried out in pain again. Ning Shu quickly went to help Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang quickly reached out his hand and grabbed Ning Shu's hand. Don't come over. Luo Jiang was in so much pain that his body was trembling. Ning Shu had an apologetic and guilty face. Are you okay? Why don't we go to the hospital? I'm okay. Luo Jiang's neck was red from holding back his breath. Motherfucker, I'm about to be crippled. Hurry up and stop the pain. Luo Jiang roared in his heart. Soon, there was a cool feeling going towards Luo Jiang's lower part. It gradually relieved the pain that was going to make him go into shock. Are you really okay? Ning Shu asked again. Luo Jiang, who was bent over, stood up straight. His face was not as pale as before. It seemed like he was not enduring the pain anymore. I'm really okay. Ning Shu, this is also fine. Ning Shu advised, I know that part of a man is weak. You don't have to endure it. Let's go to the hospital. Luo Jiang shook his head. I'm really okay. Ning Shu let out a sigh of relief. It's good that you're okay. Ning Shu picked up the bicycle and rode away. Ning Shu was really puzzled. Luo Jiang's lower part was already like an iron bastion. How could he be okay? At the beginning, Luo Jiang was in so much pain that his eyes rolled back. However, not long after, Luo Jiang no longer felt pain. It was probably because of the help of the system. Oh my, that system was really kind. Luo Jiang stared at Ning Shu's back. His eyes were red. Although he did not feel much pain, his lower part was burning hot. He felt that his balls were swollen. Luo Jiang hurried back home and washed himself with cold water. He thought that with the system, he would have a lot of luck with women. In the end, before he could even touch the water, he was beaten to death on the beach by the girl next door who only passed. Can you help me reduce the swelling? Luo Jiang asked the system. When he touched it, it was incomparably hot. It was as if a heating pad was placed between his legs. Moreover, it was swollen. Although it did not hurt, he still felt that his balls were hurting. Will this affect my ability? Luo Jiang shouted as if he was about to collapse. Then what could he use to conquer a beauty? This matter is to give you a warning. The system said coldly. Luo Jiang scratched his head. Is it so hard to pick up girls? Luo Jiang's confidence was now a bit damaged. A girl who only passed was already so hard to get. Those high and mighty beauties would be even harder to get. This game was so hard. Everyone's mental strength is different. Some people are strong, some people are weak. I have already helped you a lot. The women who stay with you, they all look at you through a high-powered fan filter. They will automatically filter out your shortcomings and shortcomings. Chapter 1241. High-frequency fan filter? Automatically filtering out flaws and inadequacies? Luo Jiang didn't believe it. Why was it that when he was with that brat Hu Duo, that brat would say nasty things and pick things he didn't like to hear? Hu Duo, does Hu Duo look like a brainless fan when she looks at me? Which family's brainless fan is so mean? Luo Jiang said speechlessly. It was fine if she was mean, but she even purposely bumped into him, even though the other party sincerely apologized. Luo Jiang still felt that the other party did it on purpose. I already said that the degree of influence is related to the person's spiritual power. Your green plum's spiritual power is probably stronger than the average person's. The system's voice was cold. Luo Jiang scratched his head and then washed his balls with cold water. He felt that his balls were numb. It was swollen. Ning Shu rode his bicycle to school and went to class. Because he was delayed by Luo Jiang, Ning Shu was already late. He bent over and quietly entered the classroom. The original owner's major was foreign languages. This foreign language was a bit complicated as it was several languages. Fortunately, Ning Shu's memory was quite good now. The roots of the words were all small things. The foreign language major was also quite good. In the future, he wouldn't need to translate when he went abroad. Whether it was a formal job or a part-time job, it was a good job. Ning Shu felt very relaxed to be able to sit in class. At least he didn't have to fight and kill. It was a very peaceful world. After all the classes were finished, Ning Shu rode home. On the road of the school, he saw students holding books in 2s and 3s. There were also couples. Youth was beautiful. Ning Shu felt that he had become younger. The ivory tower was really a beautiful place. Ning Shu returned home and took out a jar from the closet. Ning Shu leaned close to the jar and listened. There was movement inside. Ning Shu opened the lid and then rolled his eyes. The last one to survive was a toad, but this toad didn't form a goo. Although he didn't know why it survived to the end, it wasn't a goo. It seemed that the success rate of making a goo in this world was very low. Then he had to think of another way. Ning Shu opened the drawer and took out a silver needle that shone with a faint light. He could only turn Luo Jiang's thing into an ornament. Other than peeing, it had no other function. However, everything was still there. Even if there was a problem, the push-down system would help Luo Jiang repair it. His balls hurt so much, but it only hurt for a moment and then it didn't hurt anymore. Ning Shu was convinced by this system. Would the system help Luo Jiang grow a new one if he lost his dick? Could it be reconnected? It all depended on whether the system was willing to spend so much on Luo Jiang. On the other side, Luo Jiang decided to go to the hospital to reduce the swelling and inflammation. After sleeping for a night, his balls were even more swollen, which scared Luo Jiang to death. Although he didn't feel any pain and felt numb, this feeling was even more frightening. Luo Jiang arrived at the hospital and took off his pants to show the doctor his symptoms. It was originally an andrology department, but in the end, there was a beautiful doctor. A female doctor in the andrology department was even more strange, and it was a beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor, who was used to seeing big scenes, blushed when she saw Luo Jiang's little brother. When Luo Jiang heard the system say that this beautiful doctor was a beauty who almost scored 80 points, he immediately became happy. He could see a beauty for 80 minutes just by coming to see a doctor. Luo Jiang stared at the beautiful doctor with a burning gaze. The beautiful doctor was a little embarrassed. After hurriedly looking at the symptoms, The beautiful doctor asked the nurse to bring him to get medicine and for drip. The nurse was also a beautiful woman, and a beautiful woman who was as gentle as water. Luo Jiang felt his whole body ripple. Why didn't he meet such a beauty before? The nurse inserted a needle into Luo Jiang's body, but she accidentally poked the wrong one. Luo Jiang's expression didn't change, and he even comforted the beautiful nurse, telling her to poke him again if it was okay. Luo Jiang kept talking to the beautiful nurse, and sometimes he asked if his little brother could be saved. He didn't know if it could stand up in the future, and if it couldn't, then he wouldn't have a happy sex life for the rest of his life. Facing Luo Jiang's teasing, the beautiful nurse's face kept blushing, and she was a little shy. She comforted Luo Jiang that it wouldn't happen, and it would be fine as long as the swelling was reduced. Only then did Luo Jiang confirm that he was charming. The beautiful nurse kept busily inserting needles and for drip for other patients. Luo Jiang's gaze kept wandering around the beautiful nurse's body, especially some sensitive places, such as her breasts and buttocks. The beautiful nurse's face turned red. Although she was embarrassed, she didn't get angry. This person looked at her openly, and there was admiration in his eyes. He wasn't like other men, who were sneaky, and their gazes were disgusting. The beautiful nurse only glared at Luo Jiang. This glare really didn't have any deterrent power. Instead, it was charming and very seductive. It made Luo Jiang laugh foolishly. This was the effect of the fan filter. For the same thing, Luo Jiang was open and honest, while other people were vulgar and disgusting. Moreover, it was a woman who automatically explained for Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang swore that he would definitely get the beautiful doctor and nurse. These two people's personalities and appearances were better than the little girl next door. He would get these two first, and then he would get the girl next door. He must get Hu Duo, or else it would be a failure and imperfection in his life. Luo Jiang wouldn't allow himself to have such a regret on his path to picking girls. If he couldn't even get an ugly person, it would be an insult to his charm. Luo Jiang talked to the beautiful nurse while he was on an for drip. After a while, he said that his body was very uncomfortable and asked the nurse to call the doctor over. He deliberately approached the beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor knew what Luo Jiang was thinking, but she didn't get angry. Instead, she seriously asked where he was feeling uncomfortable. Luo Jiang covered his chest and said that his heart ached. "Seeing you so nervous makes my heart ache." For the first time, Luo Jiang wished that his illness wouldn't heal so quickly and that his balls would be wronged. Although his balls were swollen, he met two top-notch beauties. It was worth it. Under the system's prompt, the beautiful doctor and nurse had a certain favorable impression of Luo Jiang. This favorable impression was a bit more than ordinary people, but it wasn't to the point of being boyfriend and girlfriend, and it wasn't to the point of having sex. Luo Jiang was already very satisfied. After all, it was the first time they met. He didn't want the damn girl next door to have a half-dead attitude towards him. The system couldn't detect any favorable impression of him. Luo Jiang guessed that the girl hated him in her heart, so it couldn't detect any favorable impression. The beautiful doctor said that she would let Luo Jiang have an for drip for a week, which made Luo Jiang's heart jump with joy. In a week, there would definitely be a qualitative leap. Even if they couldn't have sex, there would still be some intimate actions. Acting like a shrew would always gain some advantages. Luo Jiang seemed to see money rolling down from the sky, and many beautiful girls running towards him. Life was like this, what more could he ask for? Chapter 1242. Ning Shu, who failed to make the gu, had to think of other ways to deal with Luo Jiang. Ning Shu really wanted to chop off Luo Jiang's right and wrong route. Without right and wrong route, let's see how you can reach the peak of your life. But if she did it directly, she wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. Moreover, the original host was a university student with a bright future. She couldn't go to jail for intentional injury. Unless she had no other choice, she wouldn't ruin her future for a scumbag. So she had to think of a way that wouldn't involve herself. The original host still had to go to university, work, and be filial to her parents. The purpose of counterattack was to live a happy life. If she used poison, she didn't know if the other party's system would detect it. If it detected it, she would be exposed. Ning Shu wanted to use silver needles, but she felt that the system would fix it. Instead, it would alert the enemy. Ning Shu was afraid of the system that could push her down. Once a system had chosen a host, it would not give up easily. If the host was really a pile of mud that could not be supported, it would not give up easily. The system would abandon him and look for a new host. Seeing that the other party's system was so good, Ning Shu thought of the sleeping 233. But one day, 233 suddenly treated her very well. He gave her whatever she wanted, and when she was doing missions, he took care of her. Ning Shu's hair stood on end. Between 233 and her, there was no such thing as pleasing each other. Without a mission user, the system was useless. Mission users who weren't assigned a system weren't regular mission users. If 233 suddenly changed and did everything for her, then 233 definitely had a conspiracy. Ning Shu heard the sound of the opposite door opening. She looked through the peephole and saw Luo Jiang with a face full of tears. Seeing Luo Jiang like this, he probably met a beautiful woman. In the next few days, Ning Shu saw that Luo Jiang didn't come to harass her. Every day, he would go out early in the morning and only come back at night. He had a wretched appearance. Where did he go? If Luo Jiang really seduced a beautiful woman, he would reward her. Then Luo Jiang would use these resources to pick up girls. It was really a case of taking from the people and using for the people. Ning Shu planned to follow him and take a look. In the morning, Luo Jiang went out with Ning Shu following behind him. Luo Jiang left the neighborhood. First, he went to the street to buy 2 bags of fruits. Then he bought 2 bouquets of flowers, one of roses and one of tulips. The 2 bouquets were exquisitely packaged, and the flowers were lush and very fresh. There were quite a number of flowers, and a bouquet of flowers did not look cheap. Ning Shu, 2 bunches, 2 people? The 2 beauties couldn't possibly have 2 bouquets each. I'll go. In just a few days, Luo Jiang was so efficient. Where did the unemployed Luo Jiang get the money? Ning Shu had reason to believe that he must have taken out his parents' coffin money to pick up girls. In Luo Jiang's words, it was an investment. Once he got the girl, he would get 10 times the return. Ning Shu took the lead to hail a taxi and got in. Luo Jiang, who was carrying 2 bouquets of flowers and fruits, certainly wouldn't squeeze into the bus. Sure enough, Luo Jiang stood by the roadside and hailed a taxi. Ning Shu's taxi driver said, "Follow the car in front." Soon, they arrived at the hospital. Luo Jiang carried the 2 bouquets of flowers and entered the andrology department. Ning Shu followed behind Luo Jiang. He saw Luo Jiang enter the office and handed a bouquet of roses to a beautiful doctor wearing a white coat. The beautiful doctor did not intend to accept it. She tactfully refused and said that it was not good. Luo Jiang still gave the flowers to the beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor hugged the roses and smelled them. Her face revealed a smile. Luo Jiang put the fruits on the table and carried the tulips to the infusion room. He gave the tulips to a nurse. Ning Shu, this was really, Luo Jiang met both a beautiful doctor and a beautiful nurse. The beautiful nurse did not want to accept the flowers. She refused for a while and accepted it. Then, she gave Luo Jiang an injection. Luo Jiang kept asking the beautiful nurse if there was any problem with his future sexual life. The beautiful nurse blushed and said that there was no problem. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. It would be better if he was crippled. Because of her bump, Luo Jiang had the opportunity to meet these 2 beauties. However, Luo Jiang was just going to eat a meal. The waitresses were all beauties. Even if it was a small eatery that couldn't be any smaller, the lady boss was still a beautiful wife. However, Luo Jiang was really ambitious. The 2 of them were together and each of them had a bouquet of flowers. Did he want to have a threesome and send her to heaven? Ning Shu looked at the 2 beauties. They were not dead set on Luo Jiang. At the last step, at most, they had a little good impression of him. It was probably just that their hearts were a little restless. However, was this normal? The doctor and the nurse flirted together. Under normal circumstances, the doctor and the nurse would give Luo Jiang a few slaps. There were so many female doctors and nurses in the hospital. He just picked the 2 most beautiful ones to flirt with. Luo Jiang was ambitious, but the women under the halo of a stallion were even more ambitious. Ning Shu could not help but sigh. He turned around and left. Why was it only his balls that were swollen? Why didn't his balls fall off? Looking at the attitude of the two beauties, Ning Shu understood the situation of the original Hu duo even more. Their eyes were covered with shit. Even if they saw the situation, they would automatically defend Luo Jiang. They did not need Luo Jiang to say anything and would forgive the other party. Luo Jiang was really Ning Shu. He felt that his stomach was a little uncomfortable. Luo Jiang was the same as those people from the Yin-Yang sect who used Yin to supplement Yang. He deceived his heart and body, and his life was delayed. After flirting with the beauties and receiving rewards, he would look for a new target. Because the reward for the first flirting was the highest, the rewards after that were not so attractive. Ning Shu left the hospital. He walked while thinking of a way. If he did not cripple Luo Jiang, he would start from these beauties. However, he could not shake the body of a beauty whenever he met one. Dear, wake up. That Luo Jiang is a fucking scumbag. You can't be with him. You can't do that with him. Let's not talk about whether the beauties under the halo could wake up or not. Moreover, Luo Jiang's beauties could circle the earth several times while holding hands. There were all kinds of beauties, all kinds of skin colors, and all kinds of social classes. It was really a huge project. Just thinking about it made his scalp numb. Therefore, he still had to deal with the source. Deal with Luo Jiang, deal with the system that pushed down the beauties. The best way was to cut off Luo Jiang's root. He had harmed countless beauties with a single stick. Looking at it this way, sometimes being ugly was also a kind of luck. He had to use a suitable method to deal with Luo Jiang in one hit. What method should he use? What method should he use? Ning Shu really could not think of a suitable method that would not implicate himself and at the same time cripple Luo Jiang. Ning Shu said Amitabha in his heart. Why did she like crippling men's lower part more and more? This was a bad habit, but Ning Shu did not repent. Chapter 1243. Ning Shu went to school for the time being. She did not think of a suitable way, so she could only bide her time. When Luo Jiang felt that she could succeed, she would make a move and let the other party fall from heaven to hell. Now Ning Shu still did not know what function the system had. Would it have an instant healing ability? After the class, Ning Shu rode his bicycle and saw stray dogs on the roadside. These stray dogs were covered in blood lice. They were so densely packed that it gave people goosebumps. The stray dogs were rummaging through the garbage cans in the park. They were skinny, and their abdomens were full of bones. Ning Shu stopped the bike, took out the bread from his backpack and threw it to these dogs. With something to eat, several dogs rushed up and even bit each other. In the end, a small dog held the bread in its mouth. Although half of it was taken by other dogs, it ate the most. Ning Shu got off the bike, stared at the dog, and tried to communicate with it. Little thing. The dog barked at Ning Shu. There was fear in its voice, but also a hint of joy. Many people did not like this stray dog. They were dirty and spread diseases. Ning Shu looked at the stray dog, squinted his eyes, and suddenly laughed. However, Ning Shu didn't stay for long and left on her bike. However, every time he passed by the park, Ning Shu would sit on the park bench and eat. He would throw the unfinished food to the dog. The dog seemed to know Ning Shu. Every time it saw Ning Shu, it knew that there was food and followed him. Ning Shu tried to communicate with one of the dogs. It was a very simple communication. Dogs were also considered intelligent creatures. Ning Shu communicated with the dog while paying attention to Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang now treated the hospital as his home. He would go to the hospital whenever he had nothing to do. Every time he went to the hospital, he would do something. If it was not flowers, it was chocolate. Or it was exquisite necklaces and earrings. Every time Ning Shu saw Luo Jiang buy something, he could not help but twitch his mouth. He really spent money like water. No wonder the system would reward him with cash. Normal people wouldn't be able to withstand Luo Jiang's spending. However, Luo Jiang was also vexed in his heart. Right now, the progress was really not that great. He had spent a lot of effort every day. He did not know if it was because of a woman's reservedness or some other reason. The beautiful doctors and nurses, none of them confessed to him, let alone let him kiss them. He was still not at the right level. The system said that the favorable impression had stopped. Luo Jiang couldn't figure out what the problem was. Could it be that he needed some stimulation? Luo Jiang wanted to find some hooligans and rob them of their money and body, and then he would be the hero to save the beauty. But the problem was, what if he went too far? When the hooligans saw a beauty, they didn't care about anything else. Moreover, with his current body, it would be difficult for him to defeat the hooligans. Fuck, this game is so fucked up. Until now, he still hadn't found anything. God, please give me a chance to be a hero and save the damsel in distress. However, the opportunity came quickly. It was a beautiful nurse. The beautiful nurse sprained her ankle when she got off work at night. Luo Jiang ran over excitedly and gave her a princess hug. Then he clumsily helped the beautiful nurse spit out the medicinal oil. The beauty was originally a nurse, so she didn't need Luo Jiang to wipe her. However, the beauty suddenly felt touched. After applying the medicine, Luo Jiang wanted to send the beautiful nurse home. He directly carried her to the bus stop. When the bus arrived, Luo Jiang directly carried the beautiful nurse onto the bus. Being stared at by a bus full of people, the beautiful nurse was so embarrassed that she buried her face in Luo Han's chest. Luo Jiang carefully put the beautiful nurse on the seat. When the bus arrived, Luo Jiang carried the beautiful nurse off the bus. He went straight to the beautiful nurse's house. This was the first time Luo Jiang went to a woman's house. Especially when the beautiful nurse lived alone. Luo Jiang couldn't help but rub his hands. He secretly felt that something was going to happen. When he saw the underwear hanging on the balcony, Luo Jiang felt hot all over. He turned his head and didn't look. However, the corner of his eyes kept glancing at the balcony. The cup size was so big. The underwear was black lace. Luo Jiang's nose itched. He felt like he was going to have a nosebleed. The gentle and beautiful nurse was also quite coquettish. The beautiful nurse felt that it was inappropriate. She limped to the balcony to put away the underwear. She sprained her ankle and couldn't walk. Luo Jiang volunteered to help her put away the clothes. Luo Jiang almost couldn't control himself. He wanted to put the clothes to the tip of his nose and smell them. He wanted to bury his face in the underwear. However, Luo Jiang restrained himself. When the beautiful nurse saw that her clothes were in the hands of a man, she felt very embarrassed. The atmosphere became hot. It was ambiguous and awkward. When the two people's eyes met, they immediately looked away. The two people's heartbeats were very fast. Their hearts were thumping against their chests. In the end, Luo Jiang took the initiative. He asked the beautiful nurse if she was hungry. He wanted to buy something to eat. The beautiful nurse directly said that she wanted to sleep. What she meant was that she wanted Luo Jiang to leave quickly. Luo Jiang saw that it wasn't the time to do that. After all, success wouldn't come naturally. Luo Jiang could only get up and leave. When he walked out of the door, he cursed in his heart. As long as he slept with her, it would be fine. What was the point of talking about love? It was so troublesome. Idiot. Love is a kind of belief. Love is also a kind of power. If you want a lot of belief to be concentrated on you, it will be good for you. The system said coldly. Love is wholehearted. There is only one person in your heart. Many women have you in their hearts. They will give you the belief of love. Luo Jiang couldn't stand the system's attitude towards him. Previously, when he suddenly obtained the system, he was very careful. He felt like he was dreaming. However, after a long time, when he was sure that he had obtained the system, Luo Jiang started to feel angry at the system that was always pointing fingers at him. Luo Jiang was a person who couldn't tolerate other people pointing fingers at him. His ego was very strong. He was angry at the system for calling him an idiot. I am an idiot. I am the one who is picking up girls, not you. Be careful or I will quit. It was just a system. Did it want to go to heaven? The system was silent for a moment. Is what you said true? I can leave you. Luo Jiang immediately became speechless. I am just saying. The system was the only thing that could change Luo Jiang's life. In this day and age, money was hard to earn. He didn't have a rich father and didn't have money to do business. If Luo Jiang worked for someone else, he would be like a grandson in front of his boss. The pitiful money he earned wouldn't even be enough for a month's expenses. Luo Jiang couldn't stand it. Luo Jiang still felt that a career that could earn him money by picking up girls was more suitable for him. He had women and money. He could easily reach the peak of his life. This was his golden finger. What I said is for your own good. You just have to listen to me. Our fates are intertwined. I will only be good if you are good. The system said. Luo Jiang nodded. Whatever you say. Chapter 1244. As soon as Luo Jiang came home and opened the door, a feather duster hit him. Luo Jiang reflexively blocked it with his hand and felt pain in his arm. Luo Jiang was furious. What are you doing? Dad, why did you hit me? Luo Jiang looked at his father angrily. Luo Jiang's father pointed the feather duster at Luo Jiang. Did you take the money? Your mother still needs to take medicine. Without money, what will your mother do? Luo Jiang was a bit impatient. I took it, but I need it urgently. When the time comes, I will earn back 5 times, no, 10 times. You still have reason. Luo Jiang's father picked up the feather duster and hit Luo Jiang. Enough. Luo Jiang was in so much pain that he jumped. He snatched the feather duster from his father's hand and threw it away. What are you doing? I just took some money. I said that I will earn it back. Is it worth it for you to make such a fuss? Luo Jiang was very irritated. It's the mindset of a peasant for the rest of my life. I'll always be so poor, living a tight life. If his father had money, he would have more resources to pick up girls and expand his career. Luo Jiang's father was so angry that he covered his chest and pointed at Luo Jiang. Tell me, where did you take the money? Did you learn bad things? I said, I am doing this for my career. You hit me indiscriminately. Luo Jiang's father was even angrier. His face was pale and he looked even older. Luo Jiang's mother leaned against the door and watched the conflict between father and son. She could only cry silently. I've already said that it's for my career. I'll return the money to you when the time comes. Then tell me, what kind of business is it? You didn't even tell us and you took the money. You still have reason. What kind of business can you do like this? Don't be cheated. Luo Jiang immediately straightened his neck. In your eyes, is your son such a person? Luo Jiang opened the door and stood at the door. Since you look down on me so much, I must do something before coming back. Then get lost. The movement in the hallway alarmed Ning Shu's family. Papa Hu, Mama Hu, and Ning Shu all came out. Ning Shu looked at the stubborn Luo Jiang, who seemed to have suffered an unprecedented injustice, and immediately rolled his eyes. Old Luo, if there's anything, talk to the child nicely, Papa Hu said. Don't be angry. You're old. What if something bad happens when you get angry? Is it your turn to meddle in our family's affairs? Don't think that I don't know that you look down on my father, me, and our family in your hearts. Luo Jiang shouted at Papa Hu with an expression that said he had seen through everything. Papa Hu was speechless. He did not know what to say. Luo Jiang's father sighed. It's nothing much. It's just that the child at home is disobedient. How am I disobedient? Everything I do is for this family. I don't want this family to be so poor. I knew that you guys don't like me and look down on me. Even my dad thinks that I can't make a name for myself. I swear that if I can't make money, I will never step into the house. Luo Jiang angrily shouted. Dong, dong, dong. He ran downstairs. Luo Jiang's words stunned everyone in the corridor. Luo Jiang's father wiped his face. He looked exhausted. Papa Hu did not know what to say. He did not know if he should comfort Luo Jiang's father. Ning Shu's face was cold the whole time. If he faltered now, he would come back to slap his own face when he became rich. Even his own parents would be slapped in the face. Who asked you to not believe me? Who asked you to hurt my heart? You should have trusted me wholeheartedly without asking for any reason. You look down on your own son, but your son would definitely be able to achieve great things. Ning Shu thought for a moment and knew that Luo Jiang had been caught stealing money from his family. Not only did he not feel that he was wrong, but he also felt wronged. The world revolved around him. If others did not lend him money, it was their fault. He stole his parents' money, but he blamed his own parents. He just took some money and blabbered on. He felt wronged. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. Papa, who comforted Luo Zhang's father, saying that the child was still young and that they should communicate well. It was really awkward, so Papa, who brought his wife and daughter into the house. Luo Zhang's shout just now was really embarrassing. Papa, who closed the door and said somewhat angrily, "Luo Jiang is really a rascal. He has lived for so long, but he doesn't even know how to speak. Children are really debtors. In the future, it's better not to interfere with their family's affairs. It won't be good for them." Mama, who said, "He's already so old, but he doesn't have a job and doesn't even have a girlfriend. In the future, don't interact with him too much. He's immature and has a very bad temper." Papa, who said to Ning Shu. Ning Shu said very obediently, "I know. I won't have anything to do with him." With Luo Zhang's personality, if he did not have a beautiful woman to push him into the system, he would not have any future in this life. Luo Jiang ran out of his house and walked slowly on the street. The city lights were just starting to turn on. Feeling the cool breeze, Luo Jiang swore that he would make himself rich. Luo Jiang bought a few cans of beer and sat on a bench in the park. He was really fed up with this kind of oppressive life. His parents did not understand, and others looked down on him. He just had to make a career out of it. When the time came, he would look at these people's faces. Luo Jiang threw the beer cans into the trash can. A dog stood up and dug into the trash can. Luo Jiang smiled sarcastically. He picked up an empty can and threw it at the dog. The dog was so scared that it barked twice. It leaned forward, bared its teeth at Luo Jiang, and made a gurgling sound from its throat. Luo Jiang was already in a bad mood. Now, he was being glared at by a dog, a stray dog. "If you don't scram, I'll make you into a dog meat hot pot." Scram. Luo Jiang crushed the can and threw it at the dog. "If you bark at me again, it's really bad luck." Luo Jiang thought that the dog would definitely run away after being scared by him. He did not expect that this was a mad dog. It actually rushed towards him and bit his trousers. Its teeth even scratched the skin on his leg. Luo Jiang was furious. This mad dog dug into the trash every day and ate garbage. Who knew how much bacteria it had in its mouth? Damn it! What an unlucky year. Luo Jiang unceremoniously kicked the stray dog's body. The stray dog whimpered and whimpered. The stray dog looked at Luo Jiang with its tail between its legs and whimpered. Luo Jiang fiercely said, "Scram, or I'll teach you a lesson." The stray dog with its tail between its legs seemed to be afraid of Luo Jiang. However, when Luo Jiang was not paying attention, it suddenly rushed in front of him and bit Luo Jiang's indescribable position. It was almost a fierce bite. Luo Jiang instantly felt that something sharp pierced through his flesh. His mind went blank for a moment. All his senses were down there. It was not just a bite. Luo Jiang was in so much pain that he let out an inhuman cry. The stray dog scurried into the grass and disappeared in an instant. Chapter 1245. Luo Jiang was caught off guard and was bitten by the stray dog. The stray dog bit and pulled, causing Luo Jiang's indescribable private part to become unrecognizable. Luo Jiang covered his private part and screamed. Then, he fell to the ground and covered his private part with his hands. It was dripping with blood. The overwhelming pain made Luo Jiang's consciousness blur, which alarmed the people walking in the park. Soon, someone called the emergency number. Luo Jiang had fainted from the pain and was lying in a pool of blood. Soon, the ambulance came and carried Luo Jiang into the ambulance. Half of Luo Jiang's pants were stained with blood, and there was a strong smell of blood in the air. The ambulance rushed away, and some people were still talking. They pointed at the blood on the ground. Soon, there was a movement in the Luo family opposite the Hu family. Hurried footsteps were heard. Ning Shu listened to the urgent sirens of the ambulance and heard the movements of the Luo family opposite her. He guessed that something had happened to Luo Jiang. Father, who was a little confused. "What happened?" "I don't know. I don't know what old Luo is doing. Mother Hu said and pushed her husband. You should go and have a look. After all, we have been neighbors for so many years. Father Hu nodded and went to the entrance to change his shoes. Ning Shu went out of the room and said to Mother Hu, let's go and have a look. It was a woman's nature to love gossip. Mother Hu thought about it and went out with Ning Shu. The summer night was cooler. In the park not far from the community, there were groups of people. Mother Hu went over and asked what had happened. She learned that a man was bitten by a stray dog and was now being treated. She exclaimed. When a group of people was together, they had endless topics to talk about. Ning Shu saw that Mother Hu was chatting with people. They went to a fast food restaurant not far away to buy some food and then went to the park. A dog rushed in front of Ning Shu. Ning Shu put the fast food like fried chicken legs in his hand on the ground. The stray dog ate the chicken legs without raising its head. Ning Shu said with a smile, "You did a good job." Ning Shu placed his hand on the stray dog's body and injected some spiritual energy into it. "I hope you can live longer. What about you? Hurry up and leave too. We can't stay here any longer," Ning Shu said. With such a thing happening, the stray dogs in the park attacking the citizens would definitely cause panic. Someone would definitely come to deal with these stray dogs. It would probably be humane destruction. Moreover, she could not adopt this dog. The Luo family was just across the street. Luo Jiang was bitten by a dog. If she adopted a dog, it would inevitably arouse suspicion. When he first saw the stray dog, Ning Shu had a plan in his heart. He wanted her to have the ability to communicate with animals. Usually, when he went to the park to feed the dogs, he took out Luo Jiang's photo and emphasized Luo Jiang's indescribable position. Sometimes she would throw a doll to the dog for training. Dogs could achieve this effect through training. However, these stray dogs were quite smart. Ning Shu said that if you meet the person in the photo, don't be polite, especially at night. Recently, Luo Jiang always went home very late. Every day, he would wander around the hospital, trying to get the beautiful doctors and nurses. Other than this method, Ning Shu could not think of any other way for the time being. The stray dog finished all the drumsticks and even chewed the bones. Ning Shu smiled. "You can go. You really can't stay here." The stray dog turned around and left. Ning Shu whimpered when he turned around. Ning Shu waved his hand. "You can't bite people casually in the future," Ning Shu said. If he bit people casually, he would definitely be humanely destroyed. The stray dog took advantage of the night and slipped into the grass and disappeared. Ning Shu returned to Mother Hu's side. Mother Hu was chatting with a group of gossipy women. When she saw Ning Shu, she quickly asked, "Where did you go?" Ning Shu gave her a bottle of water. "I went to buy water." "Don't run around. There are mad dogs in this park that will bite people." Mother Hu asked Ning Shu to sit next to her. Ning Shu drank the water and listened to these people talk obediently. The night breeze felt very comfortable on his body. They chatted a little late. Mother Hu pushed Ning Shu, who was about to fall asleep. "Let's go back." "Okay." Ning Shu quickly stood up. When the mother and daughter returned home, Father Hu was already home. What happened to old Luo's family? Father Hu took a sip of tea. Luo Jiang was bitten by a dog. It was a stray dog in the park. He was bitten by a dog. I guess he quarreled with old Luo and ran out. As a result, he was bitten by a dog. So it was Luo Jiang. Mother Hu asked again, "Is it serious?" Ning Shu also pricked up his ears to listen to Luo Jiang's current situation. Father Hu put down the teacup, shook his head and said, "It's a little serious. I heard that a dog's teeth pierced through his skin. That area was bitten until only some flesh was left." "It's that serious?" Mother Hu exclaimed. "That dog is really crazy. Why did it bite him like that?" Luo Jiang still needs surgery to be stitched back together. Father Hu glanced at Ning Shu. "Why aren't you going to sleep?" Ning Shu replied with an "oh," and obediently went to sleep. Obviously, Father Hu didn't want his daughter to hear about this kind of thing. After receiving news about Luo Jiang, Ning Shu went to sleep contentedly. Back in the room, Ning Shu sat on the bed and supported his chin. Luo Jiang had been badly injured. She didn't know if he could recover. Would the push-down system use its energy to repair Luo Jiang's body? It would be best if she could leave this place. If she was willing to spend money, then she still had a battle to fight. She couldn't use the stray dog trick anymore. Some methods could only be used once. For example, being attacked by a stray dog was completely a coincidence. If it happened once, it wouldn't be a coincidence if it happened a second time. Besides, once bitten by a snake, one would be afraid of startling it for 10 years. After being bitten by a dog, Luo Jiang would hide far away when he saw a dog in the future. Ning Shu sat cross-legged on the bed and began to cultivate. With a strong body, he could do more things. Luo Jiang, who was bitten beyond recognition by a dog, was put on the operating table. Because he was bitten by a stray dog, he had to be disinfected many times. The attending doctor was a beautiful doctor. When the beautiful doctor saw Luo Jiang, she was stunned for a moment. She felt really strange. This person's indescribable part was really easy to get hurt. Last time, it was his testicles that were swollen. This time, it was directly destroyed. The whole operation was done under a microscope. In fact, it was not easy to do. If it was simply sealed, it could be sewn up directly with a needle. However, the function of this thing had to be considered. The blood vessels had to be sewn together. In short, it was a very delicate job. Even if it was sewn up, there might be various obstacles in the future. After all, it couldn't be compared to the original one. Chapter 1246. Luo Jiang's surgery took a whole day to complete. As for the effect of the surgery, no one could guarantee it. When Luo Jiang woke up, his whole body was numb. He suddenly thought of his little brother and struggled to get up. As a result, he pulled down. "Hey, you should sleep first. Don't move around. You just had surgery." The beautiful doctor pressed down on Luo Jiang's body. "It will affect your wound." When Luo Jiang saw the beautiful doctor, he was embarrassed. Why did he always meet this beauty every time something happened to his lower body? Especially when his lower body was bitten by a dog. Luo Jiang anxiously asked the beautiful doctor, "Is my lower body really okay?" The beautiful doctor hesitated for a moment. Luo Jiang's face became pale. "Is there a problem?" Luo Jiang had a bad premonition in his heart. Thinking back to that time, the dog almost pulled his lower body off. It kept biting and pulling. It's hard to say now. It depends on the recovery effect of the surgery. However, you were sent here in time. There shouldn't be any effect. You just need to take care of your body. The beautiful doctor said ambiguously. Luo Jiang breathed a sigh of relief. Thinking that there was a beautiful woman in front of him, the sickness of flirting with girls flared up again. "Thank you. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would be now. In the future, I will have to trouble you more." Speaking of which, it's also embarrassing. Luo Jiang's soft and pitiful appearance was the easiest to evoke a woman's maternal sympathy. The beautiful doctor immediately said, "Don't worry. As long as you take care of your wound, there will be no problem." Luo Jiang's face was pale. He looked at the beautiful doctor helplessly and smiled. A man's weak and melancholic appearance was the best way for a woman to relax. The beautiful nurse took out a syringe and prepared to give Luo Jiang an injection. "You were bitten by a dog. Stray dogs carry a lot of viruses, so now we need to give you a tetanus shot and rabies vaccine," the beautiful doctor said. Luo Jiang looked at the sharp needle dripping with medicine. He was so angry that he wanted to chop the dog that bit him into pieces. Damn dog. When the beautiful doctor was giving Luo Jiang an injection, Luo Jiang's father came in. Luo Jiang's father looked at Luo Jiang, who was lying on the hospital bed. "How could you be bitten by a dog? If you didn't run out in anger, you wouldn't have been bitten by a dog. Do you know that after you had the surgery and were hospitalized, the house was emptied?" Luo Jiang's father was angry and distressed. "And you were bitten by a dog there? Money, money, money. You only know about money. If you believed me back then, I wouldn't have left home. I did it for my career, but you didn't believe me. I'm your son, but you didn't believe me." Luo Jiang felt that if he didn't have a conflict with his father, if his father didn't believe him, He wouldn't have run out of the house, wouldn't have met the dog, and wouldn't have been bitten by the dog. Luo Jiang's father was so angry that he wanted to die. However, when he thought about how his son was still lying on the hospital bed, he said, "When you recover, you should find a good job. Do you know that your uncle who helped pay for the surgery fees? Who Duo's father? I didn't ask him for help. Who wants his charity? I will return it to him in the future." Luo Jiang straightened his neck and said, because he had just undergone surgery and had lost a lot of blood, his face was as white as snow. Luo Jiang's father was so angry that he almost had a heart attack. What was wrong with his son? "Dad, I will definitely earn a lot of money back." Every time he heard his son say that he wanted to earn money for his career, he couldn't come up with a plan. He also didn't know what he wanted to do. Luo Jiang's father felt that his son had been staying at home for too long and that there was something wrong with his brain. The beautiful nurse at the side couldn't stand it anymore. "The patient has just undergone surgery. He can't be too emotional. Family members shouldn't provoke the patient too much." Luo Jiang's father ran left and right for most of the night. He registered and waited in front of the operating room. His son still had this attitude when he woke up. It made Luo Jiang's father look a lot older in an instant. He looked very tired. Let's not talk about filial piety first. Having a son with such a bad temper, he was also very frustrated. It wasn't easy to raise him up, but the child always felt that his parents owed him a lot. Luo Jiang's father left the ward and sat on the chair at the door. Luo Jiang looked at the beautiful doctor. "Thank you for speaking up for me. My father's temper is like that. Don't mind him." Luo Jiang felt that his father was very embarrassed in front of a beautiful woman. He would shout and shout at the slightest thing. The beautiful nurse took Luo Jiang's temperature and said, "What are you thanking me for? You are my patient. I should be responsible for you." "You want to be responsible for me?" "I agree. 100 times agree." The beautiful doctor glanced at Luo Jiang reproachfully. Luo Jiang asked the beautiful doctor again, "Is my little brother really okay?" "It's okay. Even if something happened, medical treatment is so advanced now. You can install an erection device. It will have the same effect." Luo Jiang, "Don't." After the beautiful nurse left, Luo Jiang anxiously asked the system for help. "Hey, will my little brother be okay? How can he be okay when he is so bad? Can't you be a bit more careful? Where did you get hurt? If you can't stand firm, how can you conquer a beauty? Why are you so stupid?" The push-down system was very annoyed and said with resentment. He ran to play with the dog and got hurt by the dog. Moreover, he got hurt somewhere. To be more precise, he was angry in his heart. He vented it on the dog, but he got bitten by the dog instead. This host was really stupid. Luo Jiang was even more speechless. How could he have thought that this dog would be so cruel? Luo Jiang didn't care about the system calling him stupid. He quickly asked, "Can you restore my little brother to its original state? Otherwise, I won't be able to be in harmony with the beauty." Everything was for this last step. The beauty was already lying on the bed, but he couldn't do anything. Luo Jiang felt that he would go crazy. The system was silent for a long time. The longer the system was silent, the more anxious Luo Jiang's heart became. "Can you do it or not? Say something." Luo Jiang said, trembling with fear. "It is not impossible to restore it." The system said coldly. Luo Jiang let out a long sigh of relief. Only then did his heart fall back into his chest. This system finally had some use. "Okay, then you help me restore it. Only after it is restored can I go conquer mountains of beauties." Luo Jiang said, "Restoring a lot of energy. To restore an object to its original state, do you know how much energy is needed?" The system's voice was incomparably cold. Luo Jiang was immediately stunned. He said with some disbelief, "Don't tell me you don't want to restore it for me? If I restore it for you, I will spend so much energy. What benefits will I get?" "Benefits, benefits?" Luo Jiang scratched his head. He really couldn't give the system any benefits. Chapter 1247. Luo Jiang thought about it, but he couldn't think of any benefits he could give to the system. The system asked him to do missions, and once the missions were completed, there would be rewards. It was as if the system had always been giving to him, and he didn't need to repay the system. If you don't fix it for me, I won't do the mission. Luo Jiang could only use this to threaten the system, to make him continuously flirt with girls, and sleep with girls. This would definitely be beneficial to the system. The system's heart was unmoved by Luo Jiang's threat. You don't want to do the mission, but there are many people who want to do it. There were many people who wanted to reap without sowing, and there were many people who stretched their necks and hoped for a pie to fall from the sky. The system coldly and arrogantly looked at the bluffing Luo Jiang, weighing whether or not it should leave this person. It had been almost 2 months, and this man hadn't slept with a single girl. Find a host with good conditions, they didn't care about money, and only find this kind of person who had no money and no power, safe and obedient. The system was silent, making Luo Jiang's heart very frightened. Could it be that the system abandoned him and ran away? System, as long as you help me fix it, I will listen to you in the future. I will definitely listen to you. In the end, Luo Jiang was bitterly begging. The system was still weighing the pros and cons when Luo Jiang said, "When it's fixed, I will definitely sleep with a doctor or nurse, I swear." Okay, only this time, there will definitely be no next time. The system said. Luo Jiang was ecstatic. Okay, you can rest assured, next time I will be bitten by a dog, I will be a pig. The system began to repair Luo Jiang's wound. Luo Jiang felt that there was a numb and itchy feeling, as if electricity had passed through him. Can you make me a bit bigger? Since I have to fix it, I might as well make it a bit bigger. Luo Jiang said to the system. Maybe his length could catch up with Britain and America. The system coldly said, "Don't bargain, this time I will only fix it for you, not for a second growth. When you complete the mission, there will naturally be such a reward." Luo Jiang muttered in his heart, really stingy. Luo Jiang endured the numb and itchy feeling, his hand under his arm. This hospitalization was an opportunity. Maybe he could have a qualitative breakthrough with the beautiful doctor. During this period of hospitalization, he must get the beautiful doctor. Without any worries, and with his little brother dead, Luo Jiang's mood immediately became very good. He felt that the future was bright, and he was full of enthusiasm. As a neighbor, Ning Shu had to pretend to go and take a look. Ning Shu bought some fruits and arrived at the hospital. When he opened the door, he saw Luo Jiang talking to a beautiful doctor wearing a white coat. It was unknown what interesting things they had said, but both of them had smiles on their faces. Ning Shu looked at Luo Jiang, whose eyebrows and eyes were filled with provocation. How could he still flirt with girls with such a smile even though he had suffered an indescribable injury? Shouldn't he be mourning the loss of his masculinity? Could it be that the system had fixed it? They were really willing to spend money. Ning Shu stood at the door of the ward and coughed. When Luo Jiang saw Ning Shu, he was stunned. "Hu Duo, why are you here? I heard that you were bitten by a dog, so I came to see you." Ning Shu put the fruits on the bed, his eyes sweeping over Luo Jiang's face. Although Luo Jiang's face was pale, his spirit seemed to be good. His little brother was already like that. Any man would not be so relaxed. Although it was a lump of meat, it represented a man's masculinity and confidence. Ning Shu asked, "How are you?" "I'm fine, I can be discharged soon," Luo Jiang said, but he was very proud in his heart. This damn girl usually looked at him with disdain, but when she saw that he was injured, she still anxiously ran over to see him. She was a damned tsundere, and her body was upright. "Are you really okay?" Ning Shu asked in surprise. Was the blood from tomato juice? Father who said that he was seriously injured, how could he be okay? Luo Jiang nodded. Dr. Wu's medical skills are brilliant, so I can keep my happy life. Facing Luo Jiang, the beautiful doctor blushed. Ning Shu was expressionless. He had not even removed the gauze, and he already knew that he was okay? "It's good that you're okay, then I'm leaving." Ning Shu turned around and left the ward. Luo Jiang shook his head at the beautiful doctor. "This is my childhood sweetheart. Her temper is very bad. Don't bother with that little girl." The beautiful doctor lightly said, "Why would I bother with her? Not to mention your childhood sweetheart is quite cute." "Dr. Wu, are you jealous?" Luo Jiang teased. After staying in the hospital for about a week, Luo Jiang's father wanted to discharge him. Luo Jiang was suddenly unhappy. He was now spending time with the beautiful doctor, and their relationship had already warmed up. How could he be discharged now? Luo Jiang's father helplessly said, "Our family has no money. Last time you took a lot of money from our family, plus your surgery fees and hospitalization fees. Our family can't afford it." Luo Jiang was somewhat angry that his father said that he stole money from his family in public. "Can you not always talk about this matter? My injury is not an ordinary cold. Dad, don't tell me you don't care about your son's future happiness? You can come for a checkup every week. Our family really has no money." Luo Jiang sighed. Money, 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 it was all money. If he had money, he could do whatever he wanted, and he wouldn't have to be so bitter. Therefore, he must succeed. The beautiful doctor did not approve of Luo Jiang's discharge, because if he went home to recuperate, his wound might get infected, and at that time, it would cause even more serious consequences. The beautiful doctor explained the importance of this matter to Luo Jiang's father. After returning home, if there was a problem and he couldn't get timely treatment, he would really become a cripple. Luo Jiang's father helplessly said, "Our family has no money." Luo Jiang's father was also under a lot of psychological pressure, and the key point was that his son was not easy to worry about. Luo Jiang felt very embarrassed. His father said that he had no money in front of the beautiful woman, and that he was poor and had no ambition. The beautiful doctor's head became hot, and she said, "I'll pay for the hospitalization fees." Luo family's father and son both stared at the beautiful doctor in surprise. "You don't need to pay for it." Luo Jiang shook his head and said, using a woman's money made Luo Jiang feel very embarrassed, especially when he was still pursuing the beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor also didn't know why she said such words, but when she heard that Luo Jiang was going to be discharged, her heart became anxious, and she said such words. She had some faint regret in her heart, but she quickly threw this slight regret to the back of her head and said to Luo Jiang, "It's okay, you should properly recuperate." Luo Jiang couldn't help but hold the beautiful doctor's hand, and with a touched face, he said, "Thank you, I will return the money to you in the future. I think you have a lot of potential, you will succeed." The beautiful doctor said. As for why she felt that this man had potential, to be honest, the beautiful doctor didn't know. It was probably her sixth sense. Chapter 1248. The beautiful doctor's trust and expectation filled Luo Jiang's heart with gratitude and motivation. There was such a person who wholeheartedly believed in him, and even helped him pay for the medical expenses. Although his injuries were almost healed, in order to have more opportunities to interact with the beautiful doctor, Luo Jiang decided to hide this matter. Besides, his lower body suddenly healed so quickly it would definitely arouse suspicion, and he didn't want to be dissected by others. Luo Jiang said to his father, "Now that someone is helping to pay for the medical expenses, I don't need to leave the hospital." Sometimes, his own parents were not even as good as an outsider. The beautiful doctor was really beautiful and kind. Luo Jiang's father hesitated. "Don't trouble the doctor, it's not good to trouble others." "It's okay, when Luo Jiang has money, you can return it to me," the beautiful doctor said. Luo Jiang's father was still hesitant. He wanted to say, "Why is she willing to help you?" But thinking of his son's temperament, Luo Jiang's father closed his mouth. Luo Jiang's father turned around and left. He still had to go to work. Luo Jiang grabbed the beautiful doctor's smooth hand. His eyes were full of tenderness as he looked at the beautiful doctor. "Dr. Wu, in the future, I will return you 1 yuan every day. I can see you every day." The beautiful doctor withdrew her hand and walked to the door of the ward. She turned around and smiled sweetly. "If you really dare to return me 1 yuan every day, I plan to break your leg, your third leg." Luo Jiang clutched his chest. He heard the system prompt that the beautiful doctor's favorable impression of him had greatly increased. It seemed that the time to push her down was not far. Soon, he would have money, and his masculinity would greatly increase. Compared to Luo Jiang's smooth sailing, Ning Shu's heart was not too happy. The pushing down the beauty system actually helped to heal Luo Jiang's injuries. This system really made Ning Shu want to kneel down. It seemed that Luo Zhang's body still had luck, otherwise, the system would not be reluctant to leave. Ning Shu hammered his chest, feeling somewhat stifled. Luo Zhang's things were still intact, which meant that he could still push down beauties. He could still walk to the peak of life. There were so many beauties in the world waiting for Luo Zhang to conquer, he couldn't kill all of them, right? If Luo Zhang's indescribable place was injured again, Luo Zhang himself would probably feel that someone had a deep hatred for his little brother. What should he do then? Fortunately, Luo Zhang was wearing jeans at that time. If it was a loose pair of pants, perhaps his little brother would have been bitten off. It was really good to have a system. It could even help repair the damage done to his body. From a certain point of view, Luo Zhang could be considered as an unkillable cockroach. Whenever he received a fatal injury, the system would help to repair it. Damn it! Ning Shu took out the silver needles from the drawer. However, the silver needles still felt something when they were inserted into the body. Moreover, Ning Shu did not know if the system would notice. If the system told Luo Zhang that someone was doing something bad to him, with Luo Zhang's vengeful nature and the fact that the two families were facing each other, the Hu family would not be able to live peacefully. If he wanted to harm someone, he had to do it in secret so that the other party wouldn't be able to find a target for revenge. The little white rabbit was white and white. Moreover, the original owner was a university student and had a beautiful life ahead of her. Being entangled with this kind of scum was simply disgusting. What a dilemma! He wanted to do it himself, but he was afraid that the other party's system would detect it. He hated this kind of system cheat the most. Especially since her system was so useless, it was even more annoying. Ning Shu let out a long breath and put the silver needles into the drawer. Then he could only use poison. Ning Shu felt that he had to bring out all of his skills. If poison didn't work, then he would use curses. He just didn't know if this world would succeed. Modern society was in an age of decline. There was little spiritual energy, and many methods might not succeed. Moreover, there was the suppression of the plane. Ning Shu went to buy a large chicken to stew soup. He took out the medicinal ingredients that he had bought along with the silver needles from the room. He cut the astragalus into slices and boiled them in the pot. As for the other medicinal ingredients, Ning Shu began to make medicine according to a certain ratio. He had to make sure that no one would be able to find out that there was medicine in it. Ning Shu really brought out all of his martial arts. This time, it was mainly a test to see if the system would find out that there was a problem with the chicken soup. Ning Shu sprinkled the medicinal ingredients into the pot and waited for the chicken soup to taste. However, the chicken that was fed with large amounts of feed couldn't make a rich chicken soup at all. Ning Shu sprinkled a lot of chicken essence and MSG into the pot to make it taste better. Ning Shu smelled it. The rich and fresh smell was mixed with the smell of medicinal ingredients. It smelled quite good. Ning Shu put the chicken soup in a thermos, then washed the pot clean. He carried the thermos to the hospital. When he saw Luo Zhang again, Luo Zhang's face was in high spirits. It was impossible to tell that he was sick or injured. His face was flushed with success. He was probably living a happy life with the beautiful doctors and nurses. Ning Shu carried the thermos and walked into the ward. Here, this is the chicken soup that your mother made for you. Your mother's health isn't good, so she asked me to bring it over. Ning Shu said as he opened the thermos. Luo Zhang stared at Ning Shu. If you care about me, just care about me. Why do you have to put on such a look? You're too arrogant. Ning Shu was speechless. Little duo, you actually like me in your heart, right? Luo Zhang tilted his body and raised his eyebrows as he looked at Ning Shu. His eyebrows trembled. Ning Shu took a spoon and directly stuffed the thermos into Luo Zhang's hands. Luo Zhang smiled proudly. He picked up the spoon and scooped up a piece of chicken. When he put it into his mouth, his expression froze. Luo Zhang turned his head and looked at Ning Shu. He stared at Ning Shu. Ning Shu's heart jumped. Could it be that he found out? Ning Shu calmly asked, "What's wrong?" "It's too delicious," Luo Zhang said excitedly. "I eat hospital food every day, so my mouth is very bland. This chicken soup tastes really good. Little duo, I know you like me. You're so considerate of me. Luo Jiang ate the chicken and drank the chicken soup. He ate and drank as if he had been hungry for a long time. Ning Shu said, "If you like it, then eat some." It seemed that the system on Luo Jiang's body would not remind him. This was because there were some medicinal herbs that were beneficial to the body in the chicken soup. These medicinal herbs also covered some of the medicine's taste. Luo Jiang definitely would not be able to taste it. Ning Shu was worried about the system. However, the system did not remind Luo Jiang. Otherwise, Luo Jiang would not eat it. Luo Jiang finished the thermos of chicken soup and the chicken. Luo Jiang's face was full of satisfaction. He burped. "I ate so well." Ning Shu closed the thermos and was about to leave. A beautiful doctor wearing a white coat came in. When she saw Ning Shu smiled. "You're here to see him." Ning Shu saw the beautiful doctor smiling gently. There was an indescribable sadness in his heart. Such a good woman was ruined by Luo Jiang. She was still so kind when facing someone who might be her love rival. Anyway, the harem of a stallion man was very harmonious. There was never any jealousy. They were like sisters. Chapter 1249. Knowing that Luo Jiang's system wouldn't remind him, Ning Shu sent Luo Jiang a thermos of chicken soup every 2 days. Of course, it was chicken soup with added ingredients. Although he didn't know why the system didn't remind Luo Jiang, maybe it was afraid of wasting energy, or maybe the system didn't value Luo Jiang. No matter what the reason was, it gave Ning Shu an opportunity. Luo Jiang ate large amounts of food to accelerate the ripening of his muscles every day. Plus he drank chicken soup sprinkled with MSG. His days were very carefree. Every day he flirted with beautiful doctors and nurses, and now there was also Ning Shu. Damn shameless. Obviously he was fine, but he still stayed in the hospital. Did he not need money to stay in the hospital? Damn shameless. Obviously he was injured, but during his days in the hospital, Luo Jiang actually became fat. This kind of man really made Ning Shu speechless. Especially when he saw a beautiful woman being ruined by such a man, Ning Shu's heart ached. He didn't take responsibility even after pulling up his pants. It was fine if he didn't get married, but after a while, he would have to find a new beauty. The more beautiful the woman, the better the family background, and the more rewards. He even flirted with foreign empresses and princesses. Damn shameless. After Ning Shu heard that it was the beautiful doctor who paid for the hospitalization fees, his heart ached even more. Swindling money and women, and still staying in the hospital with a clear conscience. Spending the beautiful woman's money, what a damn shameless man. Ning Shu occasionally talked with the beautiful doctor, and told her about Luo Jiang's basic situation. He had no job, no savings, the house was his parents', and his temper was very left. He tactfully told the beautiful doctor that it was better not to associate with this kind of person. He didn't even have savings. Be careful that you can't even pay for the medical fees. Ning Shu was earnestly advising. In fact, seeing such a beautiful woman, she should be well taken care of. How could she be ruined by Luo Jiang, that little bastard? The beautiful doctor looked at Ning Shu with a smile and said, "Are you jealous? You don't want me to get close to your childhood friend, so you are telling me this?" Ning Shu, beautiful woman, what I said is true, believe me. I'm telling the truth really. Luo Jiang's situation is exactly what I'm talking about. The beautiful doctor gently said, "Everyone has their lowest moments. Luo Jiang is like this now, but it doesn't mean that he will be like this in the future. I believe in his potential." Ning Shu didn't feel too good. What potential? Intelligence determines height, character determines fate. With Luo Jiang's Chunibu attitude, where everything is wrong with the world, this kind of thinking would not have any potential. A leopard can't change its spots. If it wasn't for the push-down system, Luo Jiang would have been like this for the rest of his life. What kind of potential can he have? He doesn't do anything seriously, and he doesn't have a goal to fight for. He's almost 30 years old, but he doesn't have a plan for his life. How can he succeed like this? Even if he has potential, he doesn't have enough motivation to carry it out. Ning Shu sat opposite the beautiful doctor. So, let him leave the hospital as soon as possible, lest you waste your time. Hey, damn girl, you're saying bad things about me behind my back? Do you want to monopolize me? That's why you're ruining my reputation in front of Dr. Wu? Luo Jiang walked into the office with his crutch. Ning Shu tilted his head and smiled. You look a lot better now. Don't you feel embarrassed using Dr. Wu's money? You're jealous that Dr. Wu treats me well. You're afraid that I'll be snatched away by Dr. Wu, right? Ning Shu said, as long as you're happy. Damn girl, you're so arrogant. Luo Jiang pointed at Ning Shu's back. This girl's temper is all because Uncle Hu and the others spoiled her. She's the only girl in the family, so they spoiled her to the heavens. The beautiful doctor's expression was gentle. What about you? Do you have a brother in the family? Luo Jiang quickly sat down. I'm also the only son in the family. As long as you marry into my family, my parents will definitely treat you like their own daughter. No, they will treat you like their own daughter. Dr. Wu, I want to be discharged from the hospital. I feel very embarrassed spending your money while staying in the hospital. Wait until I go out to work, then I'll return the money to you. The beautiful doctor breathed a sigh of relief in her heart and said, It's okay. We'll talk about it again when your body gets better. The hospitalization fee was a bit high. Even the beautiful doctor couldn't afford it. Besides, as a girl, she needed to buy clothes, shoes, and cosmetics. These all cost money. The next day, Luo Jiang was discharged from the hospital. Before leaving the hospital, he removed the gauze. The beautiful doctor was the one who removed the gauze. After removing all the gauze, the beautiful doctor's expression was shocked. Except for some tiny stitches, Luo Jiang's indescribable place had recovered very well. Moreover, if one didn't look carefully, they wouldn't be able to see the stitches. How long had it been? Yet he was able to recover so well. Being stared at by the beautiful doctor's sensitive place, especially the shocked expression on the beautiful doctor's face, made Luo Jiang's heart burst with an indescribable pride and excitement. He actually had the tendency to raise his head. Luo Jiang's younger brother slowly raised his head under the gaze of the beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor glared at him and pulled the quilt over his body. It's okay. You can leave the hospital now. Luo Jiang chuckled, causing the beautiful doctor's face to turn red. Luo Jiang laughed even more wretchedly. Luo Jiang took an inch and wanted a mile. He asked the beautiful doctor, When are you free? I'll treat you to a meal and take you to play. What nonsense are you talking about? When the beautiful doctor heard the word, play, she was immediately displeased. Luo Jiang had an innocent face. What nonsense am I talking about? I'm saying that after the meal, I'll take you to the amusement park and ride the Ferris wheel. Wasn't there a saying that if she was inexperienced, he would take her to see the prosperity of the world? If she had experienced the vicissitudes of life, he would take her to ride the merry-go-round? Looking at the beautiful doctor's age, with this kind of temperament, riding the merry-go-round couldn't be better. Tell me, are you thinking the wrong way? What are you thinking about? The beautiful doctor was somewhat embarrassed, but she couldn't resist Luo Jiang's pleading. She agreed, I'll go with you on the weekend. I'll switch shifts with my colleagues. The beautiful doctor thought for a moment. You can also call your childhood sweetheart. She always felt that the progress with Luo Jiang was too fast. It was safer for the three of them to be together. Compared to Luo Jiang, the beautiful doctor trusted Luo Jiang's childhood sweetheart more. After all, childhood sweetheart wouldn't do anything to her. Luo Jiang didn't even think about it and agreed. Who would have this kind of luck to take two girls on a date? Luo Jiang happily left the hospital. The first thing he did after leaving the hospital was to knock on the door of Ning Shu's house. Ning Shu looked at Luo Jiang's peach blossom face and asked, What are you doing? Luo Jiang held the door with his hand. His action was incomparably cool. Ning Shu said, Little girl, do you want to go to the amusement park? Go to the amusement park? Ning Shu asked back, Do you want to go to the haunted house? Luo Jiang, damn, this girl's taste is really heavy. Chapter 1250. Ning Shu said, If you want to go to the haunted house, I will consider going. Ning Shu said with a smile, I like haunted houses. Luo Jiang could not help but shake his head. His temper was bad, and the things he liked were so strange. Shouldn't he go to the merry-go-round or Ferris wheel? Luo Jiang nodded. We can go to the haunted house. Just the two of us? Ning Shu asked. One who was unaccountably solicitous was hiding evil intentions. Luo Jiang hesitated and said, There is also Dr. Wu. There was also the beautiful doctor, she must go. If she did not go, Luo Jiang might do something to the beautiful doctor. Not to mention what Luo Jiang would get, Ning Shu did not want the beautiful doctor to be deceived by Luo Jiang. Then I'm going. After Ning Shu finished speaking, she slammed the door shut. Luo Jiang touched his nose, damn arrogant. When it was the weekend, Ning Shu wore jeans and a t-shirt, took out the silver needles from the drawer and put them in his bag. Then he went out, and when he opened the door, he ran into Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang was dressed very casually, but the material of his clothes was not bad, the workmanship was very good, it was not cheap at all. Ning Shu, where did this guy get the money? Luo Jiang looked at Ning Shu from head to toe, and said with some disdain, You are wearing this? Is there something wrong? Ning Shu tilted his head and asked. Luo Jiang curled his lips. You should wear a dress for a date. Dress up, you are too casual. Ning Shu said with a smile, We still want to go to the haunted house. I am afraid someone will lift my dress. The haunted house is so dark, even if they lift your dress, they won't be able to see it. Luo Jiang said grumpily. Then I still want to ride the pirate ship, I also want to ride the roller coaster, the wind is strong, it will lift my dress. Luo Jiang. This temperament, his childhood sweetheart in the past, was not so troublesome. The two of them went downstairs. Luo Jiang went straight to a car, took out the car key, unlocked it, and then sat in the car. Ning Shu looked at the car in surprise. Where did Luo Jiang get a car from? Luo Jiang looked at Ning Shu's dumbfounded expression and said proudly, What are you still standing there for? Come on up. Ning Shu sat in the car and asked, Where did you get the car? I'm not telling you. Luo Jiang turned the steering wheel. He was wearing good clothes and driving a small car. He had the air of a successful person. However, Ning Shu heard from mother who that after Luo Jiang was bitten by a dog, he had to pay for the surgery, hospitalization, and some money that Luo Jiang had taken away. Now, the Luo family had been emptied, and Luo Jiang actually had the money to drive. The car was probably either borrowed or rented. Luo Jiang didn't have any friends who would lend him a car, so this car was most likely rented by a car rental company. Would he die if he didn't act cool? Ning Shu looked out of the window. The car drove for a while and stopped. The beautiful doctor stood on the side of the road. It was a beautiful scenery. She was wearing a knee-length white dress, revealing her well-proportioned and good-looking calves. Her ankles were slender, and she was wearing a hat. The beautiful doctor's well-proportioned body attracted the attention of passers-by. Ning Shu saw Luo Jiang's eyes instantly turn green. Look, this is a woman. Learn from Dr. Wu, learn from Sister Doctor, little girl. Luo Jiang touched his lips and looked at the beautiful doctor. Ning Shu said. Ning Shu didn't say anything and just stared at the beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor got in the car. Ning Shu smelled the elegant fragrance on her body. Luo Jiang sniffed and praised the beautiful doctor. You are very beautiful today. Ning Shu also praised, You are indeed very beautiful. Thank you. The beautiful doctor pushed her hair behind her ear. Ning Shu praised in his heart. She was really a beautiful woman. She had a good temperament and a good image. This kind of woman should meet someone who cherishes her, loves her, appreciates her, and protects her beauty. She should fertilize and water her, not be like Luo Jiang who rudely plucks her beauty and then throws it away like dirt. A woman's happiness depended on the people she met, because the people around her would destroy a woman's appearance and temperament. By the way, I have a gift for you. The beautiful doctor took out a hair clip from her bag. It was crystal and very shiny. It looked expensive. Ning Shu was a little surprised. Why did the beautiful doctor give him a gift? The color of this hair clip is not suitable for me. It is suitable for your age, the beautiful doctor said. Ning Shu readily accepted it and took out a bottle of pepper spray. This is for you. This world is very dangerous, especially some men with bad intentions. If you meet a man who harasses you, directly spray him. Don't be merciful. Ning Shu revealed his white shining teeth and smiled sinisterly. Dr. Wu accepted it, thank you. Luo Jiang, damn girl. He had never seen such a speechless girl. Soon the car arrived at the amusement park. The amusement park was very lively during the weekend. There were parents, children, and some couples. Luo Jiang asked the two girls for their opinion. Which game should we play first? Ning Shu immediately said, let's play the haunted house first. It will be the fastest way to get into the mood. Luo Jiang directly ignored Ning Shu and asked the beautiful doctor, what do you want to play? How about the merry-go-round? The beautiful doctor said. Luo Jiang immediately agreed. The three of them sat on the merry-go-round and slowly swayed. Ning Shu stared at Luo Jiang and the beautiful doctor in front of her. She must protect the beautiful doctor's body and not let Luo Jiang take advantage of her. Even if it was for the crystal hair clip that the beautiful doctor gave her. The more important thing was to deprive Luo Jiang of his luck and make the system abandon Luo Jiang. Without the system, Luo Jiang's true colors would be revealed. When the merry-go-round finally finished, Ning Shu immediately said, let's go to the haunted house. Luo Jiang still ignored Ning Shu and asked the beautiful doctor, what are we going to play? The beautiful doctor glanced at Ning Shu and said, then let's go to the haunted house. Luo Jiang glared at Ning Shu. Ning Shu curled her lips and said, don't tell me you're scared? Don't tell me you're scared of the haunted house. Can you be scared in front of a beautiful woman? Under Ning Shu's sarcasm, Luo Jiang righteously walked into the haunted house. Ning Shu curled her lips and reached into her bag and took out a silver needle. The light in the haunted house was dim. As soon as they walked in, there was a bit of a gloomy feeling. It made people feel a bit scared. The beautiful doctor couldn't help but hug Luo Jiang's arm. Smelling the elegant fragrance and the softness that was leaning on his arm, Luo Jiang was deeply moved. Although the haunted house was a bit scary, but this was the fastest way to increase feelings. Ning Shu followed behind Luo Jiang, imitating his every step. The three of them carefully walked through the haunted house. Occasionally a scary thing would pop out, scaring the beautiful doctor into Luo Jiang's arms. Feeling the beautiful woman's smooth body, Luo Jiang purposely walked very slowly and even spun around. Ning Shu also occasionally called out, matching the situation. She was always looking for an opportunity to strike. Especially since it was so dark inside, stabbing people was a bit difficult. Chapter 1251. Suddenly, a white human skeleton jumped out in front of the three people. It was a complete human skeleton, very lifelike. When it suddenly jumped out, Ning Shu almost couldn't control himself and kicked it. Luo Jiang jumped up in fright and hugged the beautiful doctor tightly. Ning Shu got close to Luo Jiang, took the silver and pierced it into Luo Jiang's waist. Not only that, he also pierced it several times. Luo Jiang was now in a state of high tension. He felt a little pain in his lower back, but he didn't pay much attention to it. Instead, he hugged the beautiful woman tightly, making his mind ripple. He was scared, but also rippled. After going through a few scary things, the beautiful doctor really couldn't stand this kind of fright. Although she knew it was fake, but in this kind of atmosphere, it was very scary to suddenly appear. Even if she knew that horror movies were fake, she was still scared. The beautiful doctor said to Luo Jiang that she wanted to go out. She really couldn't stand it anymore. A staff member took the three people out. When Ning Shu went out, he felt his legs were shaking. Luo Jiang and the beautiful doctor's faces were pale, and their bodies were floating. They sat on the bench and rested for a while before they recovered. Luo Jiang went to buy water, and Ning Shu and the beautiful doctor sat together. Ning Shu thought for a moment and asked the beautiful doctor, Dr. Wu, do you like Luo Jiang? I can't say that I like him, I just have a good impression of him. The beautiful doctor's pale face blushed. Ning Shu was a little surprised and asked, what do you like about him? I just feel that he is not the same as ordinary people, he is more interesting. The beautiful doctor said. A person who stayed at home for 2 years couldn't be said to be humorous. She probably couldn't find any good points, so she used special to describe him. Ning Shu said, "But you still have to be careful. Men are nothing more than that." "Old man." The beautiful doctor couldn't help but spit at Ning Shu. "I heard from Luo Jiang that you are still in university. Do you have a boyfriend? You still need to have a boyfriend in school. Love in school is very beautiful, it makes people miss it. Go to the library together and walk around the campus." Ning Shu shook his head. "No, there's no rush. If I bloom, the fragrance of the flowers will come. I'll become better and meet better people. A dragon would not condescend to stay in the same ditch as a loach." The dragon said, "What qualifications do you have for me to condescend? If you want to soar in the sky, you have to become a dragon." The beautiful doctor nodded. Luo Jiang had already bought the water back, and he considerately opened the bottle cap for the beautiful doctor. As for Ning Shu, Luo Jiang directly threw a bottle of water to her and did not help to open the bottle cap. Ning Shu easily unscrewed the cap. Seeing that Luo Jiang was still unscrewing the cap, he placed the water in the hands of the beautiful doctor. "Drink mine." Ning Shu took the beautiful doctor's water, unscrewed the bottle cap and drank. Luo Jiang was speechless. Fuck, he shouldn't have brought this girl here. She stole the limelight from him. If it wasn't for the fact that Hu Duo was a girl, Luo Jiang would have suspected that this bastard was trying to steal his girl. Ning Shu drank the water while looking at Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang's face was a bit yellow, and he was sweating profusely. Luo Jiang kept wiping the sweat on his face with a tissue. Seeing Luo Jiang like this, Ning Shu sighed in relief. It seemed that he had stabbed the right thing. Just in case, Ning Shu stabbed him several times. After completing the mission, Ning Shu was not in the mood to play with Luo Jiang anymore. He stood up and accurately threw the water bottle into the trash can. "I'm going back to read my book. You guys have fun." Ning Shu clapped his hands and said, Luo Jiang already did not want this damn girl to cause trouble here. He had to get the beautiful doctor first before he could get the reward. When he had the money, he would deal with this girl. Who asked her to be so arrogant? Luo Jiang still wanted to persuade him to stay. Isn't there still the pirate ship? After saying that, Luo Jiang regretted it. After coming out of the haunted house, his body was a bit weak. Playing the pirate ship was simply self-torture. Ning Shu waved his hand. "I don't want to play anymore. Dr. Wu, I'm leaving. Remember to use the pepper spray I gave you." Ning Shu said. The beautiful Dr. Ning Shu waved her hand. Ning Shu felt relieved and left. Even if the two of them had an accident, the beautiful doctor would not be at a disadvantage. At most, she would be touched, but she would not play until the end. Did he really think that the chicken soup he drank was for nothing? After Ning Shu left, Luo Jiang and the beautiful doctor continued to play. The atmosphere when the two of them were together was more awkward and ambiguous than when the three of them were together. They played the relaxing and romantic games. They definitely did not play the haunted house, the pirate ship, or the roller coaster, which would destroy their image. After coming out of the amusement park, the two of them went to a romantic place to eat, and then went to watch a movie. When the sky was dark, Luo Jiang drove the beautiful doctor to the door. "Aren't you going to invite me up?" Luo Jiang leaned on the window and asked the beautiful doctor. The beautiful doctor refused. "It's too late, you should go back." After saying that, she did not give Luo Jiang a chance to speak and went upstairs. Luo Jiang could only helplessly shrug his shoulders. He could only attribute it to a woman's reserve. Luo Jiang could only drive home. Ning Shu heard movement in the hallway. He walked to the peephole and saw Luo Jiang open the door with the key. Then, there was the sound of quarreling coming from the opposite door. It was the father and son of the Luo family. "Where did you go to fool around so late at night?" "Dad, how many times have I told you, I'm not fooling around. I'm fighting for my career. How can I say it so that you can understand?" Luo Jiang's voice was very impatient. "Even if I tell you, you won't understand." Luo Jiang's father kept chattering, which made Luo Jiang very impatient. He wanted to slam the door and leave, but he remembered that it was already dark, and he was bitten by a dog last time. Luo Jiang returned to his room and closed the door heavily, isolating his father's chattering. Ning Shu curled his lips. Parents and children might be enemies in the previous life, so in this life, they would be like this. There was no end to their demands. Your Uncle Luo's family is quarreling again? Mother Hu asked Ning Shu. Ning Shu nodded. Mother Hu shook her head and said, speaking of which, it's all Luo Jiang's fault. He's already so old, but he still let his parents suffer. He doesn't know how to share the burden of the family. Hu Duo, who was obsessed with Luo Jiang, also let Father Hu and Mother Hu worry and break their hearts. Some people were happy, and some people were unhappy. The two families had swapped. In order to avoid his father's chattering, Luo Jiang simply did not come home at night. He did not come home for several days. Ning Shu even suspected that Luo Jiang was living with the beautiful doctor. Did the two of them have any substantial relationship? Did the system repair Luo Jiang's body again? Ning Shu could not sit still. He ran to the hospital to see the beautiful doctor. He pulled the beautiful doctor to a corner and asked, "Is Luo Jiang living with you?" The beautiful doctor shook her head. No. Ning Shu sighed. He thought the two of them were living together. Ning Shu looked at the beautiful doctor up and down. You didn't take advantage of him, right? You can't let that bastard, Luo Jiang, take advantage of you. Chapter 1252. The beautiful doctor said that she didn't live with Luo Jiang, and they didn't have any breakthrough relationship. Ning Shu heaved a sigh of relief. She was really trying to prevent the world from being destroyed. No, to prevent Luo Jiang from doing that with the beautiful girl. She was really worried. She was even more worried than a husband who caught his wife in the act. However, Ning Shu didn't expect that Luo Jiang didn't have any progress with the beautiful doctor, but he did have some fun with the beautiful nurse. And even the pattern didn't change. First, he took the beautiful nurse to the amusement park, and then to the haunted house. Luo Jiang had been to the haunted house before, so he was a little familiar with it, but the beautiful nurse was still scared. Then they ate and watched a movie, and then he sent the beautiful nurse home. After that, he confessed and gave her flowers. Luo Jiang knew that the beautiful nurse lived alone, so he said that he wanted to go up and have some tea. The beautiful nurse hugged a bouquet of flowers, lowered her head and smelled the flowers shyly. She replied softly like a mosquito. Luo Jiang was suddenly overjoyed. Maybe he would have some harvest tonight. The two of them entered the house, and the beautiful nurse went to pour water for Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang sat on the sofa and looked at the balcony. The beautiful nurse's clothes were drying on the balcony. Black lace. Luo Jiang concluded that this woman was quite coquettish. The beautiful doctor was reserved, the damned girl opposite her was arrogant, and the beautiful nurse was coquettish. They really had their own characteristics. Luo Jiang stood up and went to the balcony to collect the clothes for the beautiful nurse. He put it to his nose and smelled it. Very fragrant. Luo Jiang's action made the beautiful nurse blush. She was very embarrassed and snatched the clothes from Luo Jiang's hand. Luo Jiang followed the beautiful nurse into the bedroom. There was a fragrance in the bedroom. Luo Jiang saw the big bed and his eyebrows twitched. The bed was very elastic. Luo Jiang looked at the beautiful nurse who bent over and put the clothes into the wardrobe. Luo Jiang swallowed a mouthful of saliva and stared at the beautiful nurse. The beautiful nurse was very embarrassed by Luo Jiang's stare. Her body was sweating. The atmosphere was getting hotter and hotter. Finally, the two of them fell on the bed. Luo Jiang was so excited that his whole body was shaking. Not only because of the beauty in front of him, but also because he was looking forward to his reward and a bright future. It was really not easy to push down a beauty. The two of them quickly took off their clothes. The beautiful nurse's entire body went soft. Luo Jiang looked down at himself. He had already gotten up. Luo Jiang heaved a sigh of relief. The system had finally repaired his body. However, it was too early for Luo Jiang to be happy. In just a short while, before he could even enter, he suddenly couldn't control himself anymore. The turbid liquid splashed onto the bedsheet, and Luo Jiang was instantly petrified. Shock, shame, embarrassment, anger, and embarrassment. Moreover, his lower body was throbbing with pain, but it didn't hurt that much anymore after he was done. The beautiful nurse looked at Luo Jiang in confusion. Luo Jiang immediately pressed down on her body. Luo Jiang. Instant man, instant man, instant man. These two words echoed endlessly in Luo Jiang's heart. He was an instant guy. That was impossible. Even Miss Five Fingers was not like this. He must be really nervous. That must be it. Luo Jiang kept comforting himself in his heart. Again, he would definitely be able to do it. However, after pouring out 1,000 li, Luo Jiang felt that his younger brother was somewhat disobedient. He felt a little powerless even if he wanted to. What the hell was this? With great difficulty, he finally felt something. His younger brother stood up firmly. However, it was still pouring out 1,000 li. Moreover, it was still a little painful. Luo Jiang hissed and took a deep breath. The beautiful nurse sat up and stared at Luo Jiang. Her expression was somewhat astonished. Her expression was very strange. Impotence? Premature ejaculation? The beautiful nurse was a nurse. Of course, she knew about Luo Jiang's current situation. Being stared at by a woman like this was simply trampling on Luo Jiang's self-esteem. His masculinity was no longer there. He couldn't even conquer a woman. This was simply the biggest blow to a man. Luo Jiang's expression was like a pallet. He took a deep breath and said, "I'm a little nervous. Let's do it again." The beautiful nurse smiled kindly. She took the initiative to hug Luo Jiang and encourage him. She tried every possible way to help Luo Jiang. However, when Luo Jiang's little brother stood up, he couldn't control himself and poured out 1,000 li. Even if Luo Jiang clamped his buttocks, he still couldn't stop the flood from erupting. Luo Jiang was once again caught in a landslide. The beautiful nurse. Luo Jiang didn't dare to look directly at the beautiful nurse. He also didn't dare to look at the beautiful nurse's expression. He really wished he could find a hole to hide in. Luo Jiang also didn't know what went wrong. He was bitten by a dog. However, his body had already been repaired by the system. Why did such an embarrassing situation still occur? Luo Jiang wanted to die. I wasn't in the right state just now. Let's do it again. Luo Jiang said in a low voice. He was both angry and anxious in his heart. The beautiful nurse almost couldn't control herself from rolling her eyes. She picked up her clothes and put them on. It's okay if you're not feeling well. But Luo Jiang reached out his hand towards the beautiful nurse. However, the beautiful nurse still left the bedroom. The beautiful nurse turned her head and said to Luo Jiang, "You should also put on your clothes." Luo Jiang covered his indescribable place. His hand was sticky. Luo Jiang really wanted to die. He was about to take down this beauty. However, what the hell was the situation now? Luo Jiang stared at his own piece of meat. He was so angry that he wished he could chop it up. Who asked you to fail to live up to his expectations? His reward, his money, and his girl. He couldn't even stand up. Everything was gone. All of his honor and disgrace were tied to this piece of meat. However, he failed to live up to his expectations. Luo Jiang pulled his hair like a madman. He wished he could roar out loud. However, this was the home of a beautiful woman. No matter what, he had to endure it. If there wasn't this time, there would be a next time. Luo Jiang put on his clothes and left the bedroom with an awkward expression. The beautiful nurse was drinking water. She glanced at him. Although the beautiful nurse's attitude was normal, Luo Jiang still felt that she was laughing at him. Luo Jiangsheng suppressed this feeling and apologized to the beautiful nurse. The beautiful nurse said, "Actually, a lot of men are like you. They just need to go to the hospital and get checked. It's not a terminal illness." Luo Jiang felt that his head was about to emit smoke. He was so embarrassed that he was sweating all over. "I'm fine. It's just that I'm too nervous today." Luo Jiang still wanted to hold on. However, when he thought about his current situation, Luo Jiang felt bitter in his mouth. Luo Jiang casually found an excuse and ran away. After leaving the beautiful nurse's home, Luo Jiang smashed everything like a madman. Luo Jiang questioned the system, "Didn't you repair my body? Why is it still like this? Why? The cooked duck that was in his mouth flew away just like that. In order to push down the beauty, In order to get the reward, in order to push down the beauty, he was about to go crazy from exhaustion. Finally, he was able to push down the beauty. However, the object was useless. He didn't even get a bit of meat. Oh my God! Luo Jiang felt that there was nothing in the world that could make a person collapse more than this. Chapter 1253. Luo Jiang felt that there was no one in the world who was more unlucky than him. Impotence in the bridal chamber. System, what is going on? Almost succeeded. Luo Jiang squatted on the ground and hugged his head. Luo Jiang felt so wrong that he was about to cry. Hey, system. Luo Jiang wiped his snot. After a while, the system said, I have already repaired your little brother. As for why this happened, I don't know either. Luo Jiang was dumbfounded. The system actually said that it didn't know and didn't cause any problems. How could this be? In Luo Jiang's heart, the system was omniscient and omnipotent. It was what he could rely on. Now, it actually said that it didn't know. Then why don't you check and see what's going on? Scan my body. You will definitely find out what the problem is. Luo Jiang anxiously said to the system. The system coldly said, scanning requires energy. The human body is a very delicate thing. Scanning will consume a lot of my energy. I won't scan. Luo Jiang collapsed. Why are you so cold? My thing is just a decoration. How am I supposed to complete the mission? That is your problem. Last time, when I connected your thing, it consumed a lot of my energy. Scanning again and repairing your body will consume even more energy. After so long, you still haven't completed a single mission. Instead, you have wasted so much of my energy. Luo Jiang was very dispirited. He drove his car to the car rental company and returned the car. After paying the rent, Luo Jiang's wallet was empty. He couldn't stay in the hotel anymore. It seemed that he could only go home. Luo Jiang returned home with a hunched body. His face was ashen as he mourned for his little brother. He didn't even take his father's reprimand to heart. When he returned home, he locked himself in the house. Luo Jiang didn't give up. He felt that it was because he was facing a woman. It was because he was excited and nervous. Luo Jiang took out a colored magazine and looked at the scene in the magazine. His little brother was starting to recover. It was very impressive. Luo Jiang heaved a sigh of relief. He knew it was because he was nervous. Luo Jiang held it with his hand and wanted to do it again. But as soon as he moved his hand, it splashed onto the magazine. Luo Jiang's entire person was as if he was struck by lightning. He immediately let out an angry voice and tore the magazine. He trampled on the shards of the magazine again. It was already nighttime, and Luo Jiang's movements were very loud. Luo Jiang's father asked Luo Jiang what happened and what he was doing in the house. Luo Jiang shouted loudly, venting his anger on his father. What can happen to me? Do you expect something to happen to me every day? Am I your son or not? Luo Jiang's father picked up a stool and threw it at Luo Jiang. You don't come home every night. You go out and fool around. When you come back, you want to tear down the house. Can't I scold you? I'm your father. Luo Jiang picked up a stool and smashed it on the floor, the cupboard, and the sofa with all his might. His movements were very loud, and the people upstairs and downstairs were all disturbed. Papa Hu knocked on the door of Luo's house. Luo Jiang's mother opened the door and said to Papa Hu, help me persuade her. Papa Hu walked into the house and saw the confrontation between the father and son. The floor was a mess. Luo Jiang, you even attacked your father? Papa Hu asked. Luo Jiang turned his head and stared at Papa Hu. His bangs covered his eyes and formed a shadow on his forehead. What does my family's matter have to do with you? Don't think that I don't know that you are here to watch the show. Luo Jiang's voice was filled with disdain. Papa Hu was not angry. He only said, no matter what, I am your elder. You should talk to your elder like this. No matter what, you are still a university student and a graduate from a good university. Where did your studies go? Luo Jiang straightened his neck and said, I didn't eat your rice or use your money. What qualifications do you have to lecture me? I'm not lecturing you. I am just stating the facts. Papa Hu was speechless. When he saw Luo Zhang's father holding his chest and gasping for breath, he quickly said, "Old Luo, calm down. Don't be angry." Luo Zhang's father's face turned green, and his breathing was a little rapid. It looked like his blood pressure was soaring. "Old Luo." Luo Zhang's mother quickly went into the house to get medicine for Luo Zhang's father. Luo Jiang was also a little scared. Although he was a little impatient with his parents, if something really happened to his father, he would definitely be at a loss. The current Luo Jiang could only rely on his parents to survive. The children in this country wanted the freedom of the children abroad, but they were not as independent as the children abroad. If they wanted everything, they might as well go to heaven. Luo Zhang's father sat on the sofa, and Luo Zhang's mother helped him breathe. Ning Shu and Mama Hu arrived at Luo Zhang's house. When they entered the house, they saw this situation. Ning Shu saw Luo Zhang's gloomy face. It was as if his whole person was shrouded in a dark aura. Luo Jiang was still as bright as a peach blossom before. Looking at his current appearance, he probably knew that there was something wrong with his body. Papa Hu said to Luo Jiang, "Quickly apologize to your father." Luo Jiang straightened his neck, turned around and went into the bedroom. Luo Jiang's father looked tired, but at this moment his breathing was stable. He said to Papa Hu, "I let you see a joke. Children and grandchildren have their own fortune. Young people are very popular. It is normal that they are not sensible. As for men, they should be sensible later." Luo Zhang's father sighed. "He is like this." Sigh. It was not good for Papa Hu to stay in Luo Zhang's house. Mama Hu and Ning Shu also left Luo Zhang's house. After entering the house, Mama Hu shook her head and said, "He is always restless all day long. What's the matter with that Luo Jiang? Is there something wrong with his brain after staying at home for too long?" Papa Hu was really puzzled. He really said all kinds of nonsense. He did not look at the situation at all and said whatever was on his mind. If he did not have the confidence and capital to say it, it would only make people think that this person was not sensible and mature. Ning Shu felt that it was very normal. Luo Jiang had always been a person with high self-esteem. Now that he had the system, he felt that he was a Superman. He did not put ordinary people in his eyes at all. The next day, Luo Jiang's father dragged his tired body to work. Luo Jiang begged the system for a whole night, but the system did not agree to help him scan his body to see what was wrong with his body. It also refused to help him repair his body. Luo Jiang had no choice. Since there was something wrong with his body, he naturally had to go to the hospital. Luo Jiang found the beautiful doctor, took off his pants, and said that there was something wrong with his body. It must be a problem after the surgery. The beautiful doctor was speechless. This person always had something wrong with this place. Every once in a while, he would come to the hospital to see this place. Luo Jiang told the beautiful doctor about his situation and asked her to think of a way. He could not be a quick shooter. Otherwise, how could he conquer a beauty? Luo Jiang was sure that there was something wrong with the surgery last time, which caused his situation to become like this. Luo Jiang shamelessly wanted the beautiful doctor to be responsible. The beautiful doctor was a little unhappy. She worked hard to operate on him and also paid for his medical expenses. Chapter 1254. Originally, Luo Zhang's body was bitten beyond recognition by the dog. It was already a miracle that he could recover like that. He was already injured, so it was normal for problems to occur. But Luo Jiang put the blame on her, so the beautiful doctor was a bit angry. How could this person be like this? What was the difference between this and a medical disturbance? Moreover, she was the one who paid for the medical expenses. She still had not paid the medical expenses back to her. Now he put the blame on her. How could it be like this? The beautiful doctor lightly said, "At that time, your body was bitten, so it's already not bad that you can become like this." Luo Jiang saw the beautiful woman's cold face. He could not help but grab his hair and said, "I'm not blaming you, it's just that I'm a man now, you should understand." Luo Jiang regretted coming to find the beautiful doctor. If he knew earlier, he would have found another doctor and let the beautiful doctor know that his body was useless. Wouldn't that little bit of good impression be gone? What do I not understand? There are many patients like you can be treated slowly. The beautiful doctor politely said. Luo Jiang was angry in his heart, but he also knew that this was not the beautiful doctor's fault. It was the system's fault. It clearly promised to help him repair his body, but this kind of problem occurred. Such a lousy system. Luo Jiang was about to die from anger. The beautiful doctor prescribed some medicine for Luo Jiang and let Luo Jiang go to the pharmacy to get the medicine. After buying the medicine, Luo Jiang did not even have any coins on him. Luo Jiang did not think that taking medicine would be of any use, but it was better than nothing. He still hoped that the system could help him repair his body. Luo Jiang once again begged the system, "One last time, please help me one last time. I don't ask for it to be as strong as before, just like how I was before." The system coldly said, "You did not complete a single task, yet you want me to waste energy. Wasn't the task supposed to be completed? But I have the heart but not the strength. If I could, I would have completed the task." Luo Jiang said in a low voice. The system did not speak anymore. Luo Jiang dejectedly went home. Luo Jiang's mother saw the medicine in Luo Jiang's hand and quickly asked, "What medicine is this?" Luo Jiang carried the medicine behind his back and lightly said, "Nothing, it's just some anti-inflammatory medicine." Luo Jiang was too embarrassed to tell his mother that he could not do it. Luo Jiang poured some water and took the medicine. Then, he lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. Luo Jiang's expression was sluggish. How could his life be like this? He already had the system, so why was he so poor and depressed? Luo Jiang clenched his teeth. What are the conditions for you to help me repair my body? No matter what the conditions were, Luo Jiang was willing to pay. Only when one's body was in perfect condition could one succeed. Only by pushing the girl and conquering her would he be able to succeed. The system ignored Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang suddenly sat up and hammered the bed with his fist. "Say it. As long as I can pay, I can exchange it." Pushing down the system suddenly said, "I want the lives of your entire family. Do you agree?" Luo Jiang choked. His face was ferocious. "Are you playing with me? If I don't even have my life, how can I still talk about missions?" Luo Jiang was so angry that his chest heaved up and down. His entire body was trembling. He pushed down the system and said, "How about I take your parents' lives while you're still alive? Don't say any more. Change the exchange method." Luo Jiang's forehead was sweating profusely. The human soul is a good thing. The 7 emotions and 6 desires, the power of the soul, and the origin of the soul are all power. Pushing down the system sighed. Luo Jiang was sweating even more. The clothes on his back were soaked with sweat. Luo Jiang clenched his teeth and the veins on his forehead were bulging. "You want my parents' lives?" Luo Jiang's voice was trembling. What a stupid host. Didn't I say that the human soul is a good thing? Of course I want it. Especially a pure soul, or an extremely evil soul. Both of them have a huge power. The system's voice carried an imperceptible malice. Your soul has also started to become evil. Don't say it. Don't say it. Luo Jiang covered his ears and fell on the bed. He used the quilt to cover his body. The system said, "This condition is still valid." Luo Jiang's entire body was trembling. For the entire night, Luo Jiang thought about the system's words. It was as if these words were engraved in his brain. There was even a voice in his heart that bewitched him. His parents were old and would die sooner or later. Even if they died, it would be a worthy death. After the system repaired his body, he would bring honor to his ancestors and his parents' faces. However, Luo Jiang did not dare to kill his own parents. Even if he did not kill them with his own hands, it would still be sending his parents to a dead end. Luo Jiang was at a loss for the entire night. The next day, he woke up with a haggard face. When Luo Jiang's father saw his son's moral character, he became angry. He could not help but scold him. "Can you wash your face clean?" A while ago, he was acting like a dog and did not have a job. He thought that he had learned bad things. However, after a few days, he was like this again. He was slovenly and sloppy. His complexion was very bad. He reckoned that he had played games for the entire night. Luo Jiang originally wanted to retort. However, he thought of something and obediently went to wash his face and brush his teeth. Luo Jiang's father was still not used to such an obedient Luo Jiang. When Luo Jiang came out to eat breakfast, Luo Jiang's father nagged him to find a job. He told him to calm down and find a job. Luo Jiang ate breakfast and only replied with a few uns. After breakfast, Luo Jiang's father was about to go to work. Luo Jiang stopped him and said, "Be careful on the road." Luo Jiang's father looked surprised. In the end, he smiled and nodded. After breakfast, Luo Jiang took the initiative to help his mother clean up the dishes, wash the dishes, and sweep the floor. Luo Jiang's mother was the same as her husband. She was not used to such a son. She only said in her heart that her son was sensible. Recently, Luo Jiang had been staying at home with a well-behaved appearance. Luo Jiang's mother also told Mother Hu that her son was sensible. He could help with the housework, buy groceries, and cook. Mother Hu was confused. She was very doubtful. She doubted that Luo Jiang's mother was talking about her son. It felt as if she was talking about another person. It was completely unrelated to Luo Jiang. During breakfast, Mother Hu told Father Hu and Ning Shu about this matter. Father Hu was also surprised. He immediately said, "It's a good thing that he can be sensible. Old Luo's hard times are over." Mother Hu muttered, "Why do I feel that this matter is not reliable?" Ning Shu held the chopsticks. She also felt that it was not reliable. It was hard to change one's nature. Luo Jiang thought that he was a person who could do great things. A person who wanted to achieve great things would always do housework, wash clothes, and cook. If Luo Jiang had the time, he would definitely go out to flirt with girls instead of doing these things at home. Ning Shu wanted to see what kind of tricks Luo Jiang was playing. Chapter 12:55. When Ning Shu went out occasionally, he would meet Luo Jiang, who was taking out the garbage. Seeing Luo Jiang carrying a garbage bag, Ning Shu suspected that Luo Jiang was possessed. "Duo brat, are you going to class?" Luo Jiang asked. Ning Shu nodded his head and stared at Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang's expression was a bit haggard, his eyebrows were knitted together. It seemed like there was something difficult to decide. Facing Ning Shu's gaze, Luo Jiang hurriedly avoided Ning Shu's gaze. Ning Shu squinted his eyes. What was Luo Jiang feeling guilty about? Luo Jiang's mother went out and saw Ning Shu. She smiled at Ning Shu and said, "Going to school?" Ning Shu nodded and looked at Luo Jiang's mother. Luo Jiang's mother's forehead was dark. It seemed like a disaster was about to happen. "Mom, you can go in." Luo Jiang pushed his mother into the house. He closed the door and went downstairs to take out the garbage. Ning Shu went downstairs and looked at Luo Jiang, who was carrying a bag and walking in front. What the hell was Luo Jiang doing? Ning Shu had doubts in his heart, but he still went to class. Luo Jiang threw out the garbage and looked at the old man and old lady who were working out in the neighborhood. There were also children, men and women. Luo Jiang asked the push-down system, "Why must I exchange my parents' lives and not others?" There were so many people in this world, there were so many souls. The push-down system said coldly, "Equivalent exchange, what? Have you decided to give up your parents' lives?" The push-down system was not omnipotent, it had to avoid the laws of heaven, and the soul of the person who seized it would be removed. But this kind of equivalent exchange, if both parties were willing, there would not be any problems. "Nonsense, I will not give up my parents' lives." Luo Jiang hurriedly retorted. The push-down system only let out a sound that was like a sneer but also not a laugh. Hearing this, Luo Jiang's heart jumped. He realized that this system was not a good person, but it seemed like he could not turn back now. Moreover, with his body, he could not be a fast shooter his whole life. He had already finished the medicine prescribed by the hospital, but his symptoms didn't improve at all. It was still the same. Luo Jiang could only place his hopes on the system, not only for his bright future, but also for his own body. But his parents, Luo Jiang's face was distorted, and there was an indescribable gloomy aura around him. Ning Shu was more concerned about what had happened to the Luo family. Luo Jiang's change and Luo Jiang's mother's luck. Everyone had their own unique magnetic field. Luo Jiang's mother's glabella was dark. It was obvious that something had happened recently. Ning Shu was once a Taoist priest of Mao Mountain. Although he was not very proficient in physiognomy, he could still see something. In the evening, when Luo Jiang's father got off work, Ning Shu carried a garbage bag and brushed past Luo Jiang's father. Ning Shu obediently called him Uncle Luo. Luo Jiang's father stopped in his tracks, and Ning Shu nodded amiably. Ning Shu looked at Luo Jiang's father. His glabella was also dark, and his entire face was dark. His complexion was not good. What was the reason for this couple to be like this? Usually, in this situation, there would be some kind of catastrophe that would cause this kind of effect. Ning Shu threw away the garbage. When he went back, he looked at the Luo family's door. Why did this happen to Luo Jiang's family? Could it be a gas tank explosion or a car accident? Ning Shu returned home and looked at Papa Hu and Mama Hu's complexion. They were not like Luo Jiang's parents, whose glabella was dark. It could only be said that this catastrophe only appeared in the Luo family. Ning Shu was more puzzled. After pushing down the beauty, the system did not repair Luo Jiang's body, nor did it leave Luo Jiang. What was it doing? If the system repaired Luo Jiang's body, Luo Jiang would not obediently wash clothes and sweep the floor at home, repenting and turning over a new leaf. He would definitely go out to pick up girls and fight for his career. Repent and turn over a new leaf. Ning Shu instantly felt a ray of light flash through his mind. When a person did something wrong, they would either feel guilty and do something to make up for it, or they would refuse to admit it. They would just go with the flow and do whatever they wanted. Connecting it to the situation of Luo Jiang's mother, Ning Shu came up with a frightening idea. Luo Jiang was preparing to do something big. Ning Shu vaguely had some guesses in his heart, but he felt that this matter was a bit unimaginable, so he did not believe it. When he had nothing to do, Ning Shu would observe Luo Jiang. Luo Jiang seemed to have really changed for the better and became more sensible. He worked hard at home every day without complaint and even promised his father that he would go out and find a job. The Luo family welcomed an unprecedented harmonious atmosphere. Luo Jiang's father walked with the wind. However, Ning Shu saw that Luo Jiang's father's glabella was getting darker and darker. Previously, there was a bit of black smoke shrouding between his eyebrows. Now, his glabella was purplish-black. It was obviously a bloody disaster. Ning Shu called 2333 in his heart. The system that pushed down the beauty may be leaving, get ready. 2333's voice was very weak. It hasn't left yet, right? If I didn't say that, you wouldn't have replied to me. Ning Shu told 2333 about the recent events, as well as the situation of Luo Jiang's parents. He asked 2333 what might have happened. 2333 was silent for a moment, then said, "This kind of system will also take a person's soul. If the system wants to leave the host, some will also take the host's life. We can also make a deal. Maybe Luo Jiang will use his father's life in exchange for the system to repair his body." Ning Shu. Sure enough, it was similar to what she thought. Was Luo Jiang planning to sacrifice his parents? Ning Shu deeply felt that there was no bottom line for the evil of human nature. In order to take a shortcut, Luo Jiang would have to pay more. If Luo Jiang worked honestly and lived the life of an ordinary person, it would not be like this. If there was a pie in the sky, there might be a pie, but it was a poisonous pie. Who would do something for free without any benefits? He felt that this system that pushed down the beauty was more like a demon, evoking the desires of people. He always wanted to take advantage, always wanted to be comfortable, and easily reach the peak of life. Ning Shu sighed. He felt that Luo Jiang's parents were also quite miserable. Raising a child to prevent old age, meeting such a son was simply urging people to age. And now Luo Jiang was planning to sacrifice the life and soul of his parents to achieve his own career. The soul that was taken away by the system would eventually become soul power, and from then on the soul would scatter, not even having the chance to reincarnate. Ning Shu said, "Think of a way, his parents are innocent." In a way, this matter was also Ning Shu's responsibility. If Luo Jiang's thing was not destroyed, Luo Jiang would not have to sacrifice his soul in order to repair his body. But this kind of thing was addictive. If there was a first time, there would be a second time. This time it was his parents who were sacrificed, next time it might be other relatives. There is no way. 2333 said. There must be a way. There is no way. There is. Chapter 1256. Ning Shu didn't believe that 2333 didn't have a way. Why do you have to drag innocent people into this? You're going to put this on my head again. Merit was not easy to earn. Damn it, when it came to deducting merit, it was going to come crashing down. Ning Shu's heart ached. Without enough merit, how could she become a super mission enforcer? 2333 said, "You know, I don't have much energy. Why can't you figure it out? Think about it. Luo Jiang can't sacrifice his parents' souls. For the system, he has no value. Without value, the system will definitely leave Luo Jiang. Once the system leaves, you can invade and devour the system. You can take the system's luck and energy. Then you can perfect your own data. No matter how you look at it, you're the one who benefits, right?" 2333 said, "Stop trying to brainwash me. I'm just analyzing it for you. Tell me, what can you do?" Ning Shu asked. She realized that she didn't have a way to hold people's souls. Let people's souls temporarily leave their bodies. She used the Maoshan Taoist method, but the suppression of this plane was a bit too strong. After all, this was modern society. Let the souls of Luo Jiang's parents leave their bodies. Leave their bodies, but if they left their bodies, where should she put the souls of Luo Jiang's parents? Ning Shu had never done something like this before. 2333 said, "If Luo Jiang really sacrificed his parents' souls, when the system absorbs the souls, I will take their souls. Is that really okay?" Ning Shu was a bit doubtful. Can't you take their souls first? Do you have to wait until the system absorbs them? What if the two sides failed to snatch the souls? I can't take their souls directly. That's against the rules. I will be obliterated. Besides, Luo Jiang's parents have nothing to do with me. If I take their souls directly, even if my intentions are good, I will die miserably. Ning Shu let out a long sigh. Fine, nothing can be accomplished without rules. Anyway, she would just wait like this. Everything now depended on whether Luo Jiang was willing to do it or not. Ning Shu was always ready. 2333 was also ready. Ning Shu speculated based on Luo Jiang's behavior. There was an 80% chance that Luo Jiang would sacrifice his parents' souls. He had to be a good child when his parents were dying. He had to be filial to his parents when they were dying. After struggling for a long time, Luo Jiang still couldn't make up his mind. Those were his parents, how could he sacrifice them just like that? However, Luo Jiang urgently wanted to change the current situation. Because he was an instant man, the beautiful nurse's attitude towards him was cold and indifferent. They were all polite when they saw him, but Luo Jiang still felt that they were mocking him. Luo Jiang was originally a sensitive person. Now that he went out, he wished he could cover his face tightly. Sometimes, the girls who passed by him would talk and laugh. Luo Jiang felt that they were laughing at him. If this continued, Luo Jiang felt that he would go crazy. His world had collapsed. He was even more embarrassed to appear in front of the beautiful doctor. The last time he went to get the medicine, the beautiful doctor tactfully asked him to return the hospitalization fee. How could Luo Jiang have any money? Being hinted to return the money like this, Luo Jiang felt both angry and embarrassed. He thought that the beautiful doctor was different from those tacky women, but the result was still the same. It was too disappointing. Now that she saw that he was down and out, she wanted to distance herself from him. Luo Jiang straightened his neck. With a disappointed look, he said loudly, "I will return the money to you." Luo Jiang's appearance made the beautiful doctor somewhat confused. She didn't do anything to him, right? The person who borrowed the money was still a big boss. The beautiful doctor hit her own head. She didn't know what she was thinking at that time. Why did she pay for Luo Jiang's medical expenses? Ning Shu met a gloomy Luo Jiang in the stairwell. Luo Jiang was holding the medicine in his hand. Luo Jiang gloomily stared at Ning Shu. This woman also came to mock him. He obviously wasted so much energy and material on these three women, but in exchange, he got such an ending. Ning Shu looked at the medicine. What are you taking? What disease do you have? Let me see. Ning Shu flashed and snatched the medicine from Luo Jia's hand. Ning Shu took the medicine bottle and read, Paroxidine, phenoxamine. Give it back to me. Luo Jiang's face was sinister as he snatched the medicine bag. Ning Shu curled his lips. It's not like it's anything good. Why are you hiding it? What is this medicine used for? Phenoxamine, I'll go back and check. Ning Shu said with a smile. You're not allowed to check. Luo Jiang roared. This medicine is not mine, you damn girl. Luo Jiang coldly snorted, took a few steps up the stairs, and closed the door with a ping sound. Luo Jiang returned to the room and sat on the edge of the bed, gasping for breath. Large beads of sweat dripped down from his forehead. The room was quiet. Only Luo Jiang's heavy breathing could be heard, making it even more depressing. Luo Jiang wiped his face, wiping away his sweat and tears. System, I agree. Luo Jiang said with difficulty. Are you sure? Once the deal is done, there is no chance to back out. Luo Jiang clenched his cheeks, his face trembled, his eyes were red, and he tightly held his head. I agree. Luo Jiang finally started to cry. Then when are you going to sacrifice? The system coldly said. It felt as if it was asking what to eat tonight. Luo Jiang clenched his teeth and said, Tonight, when my father gets off work. Will my parents die immediately without their souls? Luo Jiang asked. If they suddenly died, he would have to bear the crime of murder. The system said, they won't die immediately, but they will become vegetative and slowly die. Luo Jiang breathed a sigh of relief. I know. He really wanted to end this neither human nor ghost life. Right now, he didn't even dare to go out. As long as people looked at him, Luo Jiang felt that his secret was exposed. Other people would definitely laugh at him in their hearts. After making up his mind, Luo Jiang breathed a sigh of relief. When he went out of the bedroom, he saw his mother mopping the floor. Luo Jiang took the mop from his mother's hand. Let me do it, you go rest on the sofa. Luo Jiang's mother smiled. She wiped her sweat and sat on the sofa watching Luo Jiang mop the floor. Luo Jiang's mother had a gratified smile on her face. Luo Jiang didn't dare to look at his mother's eyes. His tears almost fell down uncontrollably. After cleaning the house, Luo Jiang bought some good food back. He emptied all his money and bought a pack of good cigarettes and a bottle of good wine. Luo Jiang hoped that his parents could understand him and forgive him. He really had no choice, he really had difficulties. When Luo Jiang's father came back from work, he saw a table full of good wine and good food. He was somewhat surprised. Why did you make it so good? Luo Jiang said, You usually work hard, I made you something delicious. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.